iPad, so anything that is printed that I couldn't print off.
I have some.
Well, that's okay, I can use my phone. I mean, I can look at my
Some of
email.
this-
It's just,
Let's copy that.
I think I may have that.
Okay. I just wanted to. I think we need copies. Printed. So I actually have extra copies.
I tried to staple stuff so that it was kind of,
System.
I texted Brad and asked him if he was going to be here tonight. He said he wasn't able to come, but did not say that he had anything for me questions about anything, so.
I have his bills.
Yeah, he said the bills would be here tonight.
Okay, so we are live, so whatever you say is going to be on the internet
I
forever.
feel like that was directed at me personally.
If it's about you,
The shoe fits, right?
yeah.
Shoe fit.
I feel like that was at me next, what did they say, at me next time?
I'm just saying, it's 9 o'clock.
What?
I'm calling them, so.
At 9 o'clock, we're gonna be home in bed,
I
girl.
hope so. Usually 3 minutes. What, a minute and a half? Minute and a half, 2?
Oh, if even.
2 minutes from this spot.
If even.
3 takes over.
I gotta take all my Halloween inflatables down, hopefully tomorrow. Thanksgiving. I have a giant cookie
I know.
and playground. I couldn't believe I had as many trick-or-treaters as I did last night, as cold as it was.
I couldn't believe how cold it was.
It was so cold and
It was
windy.
snowing yesterday during the day. I had this, or during
Those are for everybody to look at.
I have the copies, I copied those, so Teresa needs to look
Is
at
this the same?
the copies of the titles that Katie sent us. Did we have
What?
any? I got my pad. Okay. That's why I said I forgot my iPad, so I have to use this.
My printer ran out of ink, so I have some stuff.
Is there a good one tonight?
No idea.
Is Don still on the committee, or did he resign from the committee? November 1st.
Oh, for crying out loud. They didn't print the top. All right.
Or the agenda? I noticed, I think it's because it's upside down on the email.
Do you need the agenda?
Yeah, I only have 4 through 26.
Mine goes to 2. Is there anything before roll call?
No.
You can have mine if you need it. Mr. Chairman.
Alright. 3 minutes. Better hurry. I have 6 o'clock.
Me too.
And it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or do you program me that one?
Doesn't matter.
Did you bring a gavel, gallon, cup? Ah, there's.
All right, I have 6 o'clock. We'll call this public safety meeting to order.
If I sit here?
No, you are. Lori, would you roll call, please?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teresa.
Yeah.
I should have.
Yep.
But thanks.
We have a one.
All right, so we will go, well, we'll just go public comment, since there's like 4 of you guys. We'll just skip ahead. Does anybody have anything for public comment?
Yeah, I'm not looking at the agenda in front of me right now, but I glanced at it before. Yeah, I'd like a copy. Do you have a copy?
You have a blank copy? I've marked on mine.
Yes, I have, okay, you're only gonna get 4 through 26. The printer lobbed off the top part.
Okay, thank you. I had some questions about I guess what went on this week with the titles. And I wanted to know, because when I was in a regular board meeting, a couple people that were representing, I believe, the dive team made a public claim to some of that equipment. I don't think they specified all of the equipment, but some of the equipment. So my question is, why was that done so unilaterally and not brought up to committee, for the committee to discuss? Because you each represent districts, and your district should have some input into what's going on. Because if you're not giving input to your districts, and they're not having to go on record to say whether they support that idea or they don't support that idea, how are people in their district supposed to know where they stand? So I don't understand why things get done unilaterally without bringing it to committee to discuss and then present to the board to say, this is what we want to do. We believe this equipment is ours. This is what we're going to do. And take a vote on it where people have to actually be on record. To me, you're taking away voices in everybody's district by doing things in that nature without getting input from the other districts. So, because there was no meeting that I've been in that it was discussed to do that with the titles. So, you know, it's about letting people have a voice. And I don't think there was any voice there. You gave no one an opportunity to have a voice. And I think that's been an ongoing problem. Our people are not getting a voice. So I hope that there can be input. And if you feel like somebody's done something wrong as board members, I hope you have the guts to stand up and say, I represent the district, please let me have a voice. And your voice may agree and go exactly right along with their voice, that's great. But put it on record where you stand. Because if you're afraid to put on record where you stand, how do the voters know where you stand? And then I'm going to turn my comments to anybody who's watching this at home. We have elections in 2024. We want people to have a voice, and we need people to stand up, and we need more candidates to run. We have a lot of good people that are standing up to run that I believe would give people a voice in what's going on in our county. And civility is very important, and treating people fairly and kindly is important. And I really hope that your board can move in that direction to work that way. You know, you want to see people succeed. I want to see you succeed, because if you succeed, the county succeeds. You don't want to root for people to fail. So I'm hoping that you could take some of the public comment and public input and just not let it go in one ear and out to another, but give it some thought and consideration. And I'm just asking that this unilateral stuff where you don't know where the authority came from to be able to do the things that are being done, let the districts have a say. Let them weigh in. Let taxpayers be able to call up their representatives and say, hey, this is my thoughts on this. You're not giving us that chance when you do things unilaterally. So anyway, that was my comment, and that's what I have to say. That's it.
I have something. I just want to say that I forgot my iPad, so I'm using my phone for my emails for information that comes in the board packet for stuff tonight. So in case anybody's concerned of why I have my phone out, it's for my emails and information that we've received. It's not communication.
Yeah, I'm using a timer. And I forgot to put the timer on.
There is no time
Oh, okay,
Set.
never mind.
as of yet.
Okay. So when you talk about being honest and open, there seems to be that we change the names and we sign the titles compared to, you know, whoever owned them. The issue with the titles is there was multiple addresses. There was not anyone that, there was, I think, a couple that were right, but they were also wrong. It wasn't Shelbyville, but it was a house out in the middle of nowhere, and they needed to be cleaned up. So when you look at these titles too, for the, there is a 2004 Ford F-150. It is titled in Shelby County. That was a sheriff's department vehicle. There is also a 2012 Chevrolet Silverado that is titled in Shelby County. These were titled in Shelby County Dive Team. They are owned by Shelby County and the taxpayers. So that was corrected to the vehicles in question. The dive team members do not own anything. The taxpayers own everything. The issue when it comes to everybody should call their representative, I have nothing from anybody in my district that has said anything about the dive stuff. The only phone calls I've got are, well, you have called me about certain things.
A while back.
A while back, yes, that's correct. But that is it. So if we are acting unilaterally, it's because we are going off the information that we have. If no one tells us anything, or calls or emails, how are we supposed to know what you want?
Can I?
Yes, you can address,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Going to the Secretary of State's office was never on any agenda. No one knew you were going to do that until after it was done. And so how can people call and ask you something if they don't know that you're doing it? If it's on an agenda, like I said, and discussed in a committee meeting, then people know what you're doing, and then you're giving them the opportunity to call or not call. You didn't give them that. They went to the title company to get this changed. I'm saying that I'm not saying any particular person owns the vehicle. What I am saying is that there was a claim made that someone other than the county owned the vehicle. I think that needed to be cleared up, and that needed to be discussed in committee as to your reasoning, and then maybe sit down and decide, talk with the city. The city sent something, and you know, if you weren't going to work with the city, if you wanted to do your own dive team, an email back to the mayor probably would have been good to say, we don't have an interest in working with the city. Spirit of cooperation goes a long way. And if you don't want to cooperate with people, then, you know, how can we move forward when there's a lack of cooperation between, you know, to me that would have been such a huge win for the county, for everybody, to have the cooperation with each other, to show you're willing to work with people, to figure things out, to come to the best solution. And I don't see that spirit of cooperation with this board.
So to go on that, we have never received anything from the city except for a letter of intent. So how do we go off of something? How do we respond to something that we have nothing to respond to?
It's simply you pick up the phone and say, where are you going with this? What would you like us to do? Can we sit down and have a meeting and discuss? You don't have to have a quorum to have one individual sit down with one individual and discuss.
No. So you want us to do stuff back doors and not in public?
You want what?
So you want us to do stuff back doors and not in public?
When they sent the letter, we all were aware of the letter. That would mean there's communication going on between the two groups. We were aware that they sent the letter. So that's not doing anything behind closed doors. After you have the discussion, you put on the agenda what you discussed. So then you're telling the public. And then the public's able to call in or public comment and weigh in.
Okay.
But they did send you a letter. The public was aware of the letter, but there's been no discussion. That's called spirit of cooperation. That's what adults do. They sit down together and they come up with an amicable solution for everybody.
Okay. Public comment. Any other public comment?
Did I misread? I thought the public comment was at the end tonight. Did I?
I changed it.
Okay, changed it tonight.
Yeah, until we talk about it.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay. Any other public comment? Teresa?
Yeah, I do. Okay, we're all on this board together. We're all members, we're part of a board that represents the people who elected us. And it seems to me like individuals take it upon themselves to act and not come to the board and let the other board members know what's going on. And that does not look very good to the people that, they're not sitting here tonight, but they usually are sitting here. I think that a lot of these problems could be resolved if they were put on an agenda and discussed and voted on by a full board, instead of one or two people taking it upon themselves to act on things. I question whether or not one or two people really have the authority to act for the full board.
Could you be more specific on what you're...
The titles, the standing down of the dive team, do you want me to go on?
Yeah, it was like...
You want to address those two right now?
Well, they've already been addressed. You were in the same meeting with the state's attorney that we were in, that closed session that was released.
But it happened prior to us having that meeting. The dive team was told to stand down. That's what I'm questioning. One person having the authority to do that. Two people taking titles to the title company and doing what was done. And then I've been asked, where did the check come from to pay for the title work? And I said, I don't know.
I can't answer that one.
Pardon me?
Sonny, would you like to answer that one?
There has not been a check issued from the county as of yet. And what was done to the titles was clerical corrections to them. There was no transfer. There was no change of ownership.
There's no fee for the state to do what they're doing?
Okay, I didn't finish. I said there was no change of ownership. There were clerical errors made to titles. I'm not certain that clerical errors to titles is something that needs to come before the full board to be corrected. There is a fee that has been charged and it has been paid, and my belief and understanding is that there will be reimbursement made to the individual that paid for them through the claims process, submitting the invoice that has been paid, and then that person will be reimbursed. It's my understanding that that will come from the dive team account, as those clerical errors were from within the dive team. So it's a correction to the dive team's titles. The dive team budget line item is going to reimburse the individual for the expenses incurred in fixing those corrections, or making those corrections.
Okay, clerical errors, what are you talking about clerical errors?
Well, Teresa, it's been stated once, I'll state it again. In fact, if you look at the 3 titles that were sent to you, 2 of them are registered to Shelby County, but the post office box addresses don't match. Okay? I'm not blaming anyone, not accusing anyone. I'm just simply stating fact that the titles have errors. These 2 that you're looking at have errors. Those were corrected. That's what was corrected.
Just those 2 were the only things that were addressed?
There were 4 titles that were corrected that were vehicles on the road. The watercraft issue still has to be addressed. I've spoken with the sheriff about that, and he's going to help facilitate communications to get us to be able to get the watercraft title corrections made.
Okay,
Public body comment?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Okay, and I can do it now, or I can do it when we get into the agenda and stuff. If you want me to wait, I'll wait.
If it's about the agenda, or something within the agenda, we can wait till that.
That's fine, that's fine.
Public body comment? Public body comment? Public body comment. Okay, we are actually going to skip over number 3 until we get rules set. So we will go to number 4. So discussion and vote on making a committee member liaison to work with the sheriff on courthouse window project. Does anybody on this committee want to work with the sheriff on the window replacement project? And if so, let me know. All right.
Can we nominate somebody, or?
Well, do you want to make a motion?
I would make a motion that Teresa Bang be the liaison to work with the sheriff on the county courthouse window project. She's been here the longest and she's dealt with it the most.
I don't want to do it because I don't know where it lies at. I don't know where we've left it and what's been done with Dawn. I was not included, Sonny, I think you were included in meetings down at Effingham, and I was not included in those meetings, so I don't know what's going on with the windows.
So you don't want to do it?
I don't know where it lies. No, I don't.
Is Mr. Tate still on this committee?
No, he's not. He handed everything off to me. All I have is a packet of paper that says Lutz and Associates. Utz and Associates is working on something to go look through windows. That's all I have right now.
Is there a motion on the floor?
I made a motion.
Are there any nominations or?
Excuse me?
Anybody second it?
No one has seconded it, no.
I'll second it.
Is this where we're supposed to discuss it now?
Yes.
I decline.
Well, in that case, I'll withdraw my motion. Are we done with that agenda item?
Yeah. I'm looking
Okay,
for
skipping it.
paperwork.
What do you need, sir?
I have the application
I have a
for
copy.
the dive team volunteer.
Here's my copy.
Okay, so we will move on to item number 4, discussion and vote to send a full board, Shelby County, or yeah, 5. Discussion and vote to send full board the Shelby County Dive Team volunteer application. You all should have got this in an email, so is there a motion on the floor to open this?
Make a motion to recommend to the full board the volunteer application that we presented to the committee members. And you can shorten that up, Madam Clerk.
Not quite yet. Send full board the Shelby County Dive volunteer application.
Yeah. You have enough stuff that you should have.
I have no stuff that my printer died.
I'll stop in there.
I was gonna say, we just need a second. I can say, whatever.
Has everybody seen the application, or who would like to look at it?
I'm looking for it. There's so much in here.
Do you have the right, or did you print it off? I was gonna say, I'd tell you what email it was in.
It's a 3-page document. We'll have draft stamped across it in gray letters.
I don't have that one.
Just ask for what.
This one.
It's in the email from October 30th. There's 5 attachments.
There it is. So I can see draft from here. Can I have my copy back? Thank you.
It's in the fifth one.
It says it's titled,
Shelby Drive
application. Yeah.
Shelby Drive draft application.
I think there's 3 pictures, the application and some other. The email itself, I think, is titled agenda.
Is it the agenda or is it the first one or the second agenda?
I think it's the second one. Well, it was sent at 9:31. Public Safety Committee agenda.
Got the definitions. The administrative job. That job.
I think you're in the wrong email. Go to the email titled Public Safety Committee Agenda.
PSC agenda
No,
items is what I
no,
got.
it's not the abbreviated one. It's the one that's spelled out, Public Safety. It should be right. I think right
Okay.
under that. You got it? And then there's 5 attachments.
Okay, got it.
So we have a motion and a second, correct? Would anybody like to discuss this?
Is this like a template that you got from someone, or did you, does this
Yes.
have all the pertinent information on it
Yes.
that we would need?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Unless you feel that we need more.
Where did you get this at?
It was through a volunteer company here in Shelbyville that had something sort of similar to this, and it was just modified to fit dive. Anybody have any questions? All right. Yeah, all in favor to bring this Shelby County Dive Team volunteer application to the full board, please say aye.
Aye.
No, same sign.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, number 6, discussion and vote to recommend to full board to declare as surplus equipment the 2004 Ford F-150 used by the dive team. Does anybody make a motion? All right, well, I'll make a motion to send to full board the surplusing of the 2004 Ford F-150 owned by the county and the dive team. Is there a second?
I'll second it, just so we can discuss.
All right, does anybody have any questions or anything on why?
Is that one of the three,
Yes, that is one of the three.
the
There's-
2004
yes,
F-150 Super Crew carryall?
yes.
Okay.
So that has close to 200,000 miles, and as of right now, it does not run, correct? It just doesn't start, there's just, Nothing.
Battery doesn't have a charge or.
right. So I have heard previous months that it is falling apart, and they were going to ask for a replacement vehicle, but, you know, they resigned, so we will just move on with,
Is this right, Ben?
yes,
Just
that's
so I
correct.
put it in the notes that we're getting.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
That is one of the previous sheriff's vehicles.
Okay. To identify, thank you.
So right now, it doesn't, it's not even running. The battery's dead, so we have a chance to replace it with another vehicle, so that's why this is on here.
So what are we gonna do with this one then? If you're gonna surplus it, what are you gonna do with it?
We will replace it with number 8.
But what are you gonna do with this one?
Physically, what are you gonna do with
What are
this
we
We will
gonna
truck?
put it up for bid.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yes, yes.
So who's responsible for putting that out for bid?
The full board will have to approve disposing of county-owned property,
I understand that.
so
Probably fall on the committee.
it would fall back on the committee because there's no department head. So the committee chair will be responsible to see that that gets put out for bid.
Any other questions, comments? All right, all in favor to send the 2004 F-150 for the dive team to the full board to declare a surplus, please say aye.
Aye.
No, same sign.
No,
Motion carries. Number 7, discussion and vote to recommend a full board to declare a surplus equipment Rescue Squad's 1981 International truck to allow a surplus for them for training purposes. This is also in your packet. It was, well,
1981 International,
yeah, 1981 International.
1724 fire apparatus.
Yes, and it was purchased from the Raymond Community Fire Protection District for $8 a handful of years ago. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. This vehicle
are we
does
gonna
not,
discuss that? Are we gonna discuss
Yes.
it?
so this vehicle does not run. It is a manual, so I'm sure there's not a lot of people who would use it. It is just sitting at the dive shed where it's been for quite a while. So, any questions, comments?
Yeah, how's that title read on that one? Is that the one that isn't even in our name?
Yeah, this is just, it says Raymond Community Fire Protection District.
So how can we get rid of something that's not even in our name?
Well, technically, we're in possession of an illegal title.
So why wasn't that title corrected?
This is just first time I've ever seen it. And I just noticed it when I'm sitting here reading it. It is not in Shelby County's name. It was signed over. Excuse me?
I don't think you can get rid of something that's not in our name.
It's been signed over. We're in possession of the vehicle. We're in possession of the title. We have a receipt for the dollar. We own it. We just never put it in our name.
The signature and buyer, or the signatures for buyer spot is blank.
In 2020.
But the seller has signed it.
But
The seller has signed off,
Joe Martin of Raymond.
but no buyer has signed on, which makes it an open title and illegal.
Yeah. Was that to the dive team or to the rescue squad?
That was Rescue Squad.
I wasn't on that committee in 2020. I'd just like to point that out.
this would, well, we can do whatever with it, and then we just have to give the title to a salvage yard or wherever,
Yeah.
and then they would take care of it. Any other questions, comments?
You don't think it needs to be put in our name before we can do this?
No. I think it'd just be a waste of time.
Well,
Legally.
I don't
we
know.
would need to transfer the title.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be we're gonna have to waste $150 because it wasn't done right in the first place, just so that we can get rid of it for probably less than $150.
However, what if it goes to scrap?
I mean,
You gotta have the title in your name.
I think that they've got to have a title.
the scrapyard's gonna have the title. The sheriff is sitting right behind me. This is an open title. The signature of the buyer has to be Shelby County. It has to be put in Shelby County's name unless I'm in error, Sheriff.
I think you're correct.
Correct.
So we will have to put that in Shelby County's name.
Yeah.
Do you wanna
So I will make a motion to send the full board,
It's
or
not on
I'm
the
sorry,
agenda.
I will make an amendment.
You
Amend
can't,
this.
what do you want to, you can't amend something that dramatic.
I
The-
think I have to
Probably
table
gonna
it.
I mean, the
do that.
board,
put a table in?
yeah,
We're
table.
gonna have to
The
figure
county,
it out though.
county owns it. We just need to do our paperwork. The board doesn't need to vote to fix our mistakes. We just need to fix our mistakes and move on. So I would make did I
Motioned, wait a second.
did I motion this?
You motioned.
Well, someone needs to motion to table it.
I'll make a
make-
motion to table
A second. So we're tabling it for the transfer of until the transfer of title?
Yeah.
Do you want to vote on that? I'm ready.
Yeah, you have to vote on the table, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so, we're gonna vote to table agenda item 7. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 8, discussion and vote to recommend the full board to declare the 2012 Chevy truck used by animal control as surplus. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, so with this, a few months ago, we reversed the surplus, correct? So now we have to redo it to purchase another vehicle.
Now tell me, he can drive this even though it's surplus,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, I mean, to use until his
There's
vehicle is
replacement,
replaced,
yes.
or animal control's vehicle is replaced.
Yes, that's correct. Any other discussion?
Well, who?
I made the motion, Stephanie seconded it.
I'm sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question. Does this belong then to animal control? Is it protected with the Animal Control Act as far as ownership and stuff?
What do you mean ownership for the protection? What do you mean?
Well, I'm confused because through the Animal Control Act, all the money goes into a special fund for animal control. It's my understanding. The fees and everything that is collected.
They're two separate accounts. So there's animal control, and then there's the, I want to say pet population. where fees, there are two separate places that money has to go from animal control? Are you wondering about the truck funds?
I think the question is, if the truck sells, does the profit go back to animal
Yes.
control?
Thank
No.
you, Julie.
It goes to the,
Treasurer would know.
It doesn't go into the general, does it go
yes,
to the
goes
general
back to the
fund?
general fund. Any other discussion? All right, so recommend a full board to declare the 2012 Chevy truck used by animal control as surplus. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
No.
Motion carries. All right, number 9, discussion and vote to send a full board the state bid from Morrow Brothers for animal control pickup truck replacement.
I've struggled to find those, Mr. Chairman.
What's that?
Those bids.
Here, Sonny, you can have mine, I got it.
Oh, thank you.
That's one thing I was able to get printed out.
Oh, well, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right here. So this is a state bid, so this does not have to be bid out for Shelby County?
Right, we don't have to, for this, we should probably get a motion in a second before we
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about it any
that's right.
further.
Make a motion. Yeah. Does anybody make a motion?
I'll make
Forward.
it. I'll make the motion to send the bid? Is that what I'm motioning?
The discuss and vote, yep.
Send to the full board, the bid.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
So because this is state bid, we don't have to put out a request for bids,
No, we do not.
because the state has already done that for us.
Yes, that is correct. Now, this truck is a F-150, which is the same as what the animal control officer has now, or Warden has now. It is two-wheel drive. It also has a fuel-saving mode. So this vehicle actually gets 26 miles per gallon on the highway versus what the old one does. This will also keep the insert that is on there now on the old truck. It will just be switched over. And Morrow Brothers said that they have, well, this truck is supposed to be coming in at the end of November. They have 740 something trucks coming in the next 45 days, so this is one of them. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
I have a question only because I'm trying to figure out, I'm still learning how the bid, when we bid, what we bid, whatever. So I understand this qualifies as a pre-bid project because it's on that state bid website. But how are we getting around actually putting out a bid?
It has been put out for bid. The state of Illinois did it.
Okay, so
and all we're
this
doing
is-
is we're buying off their bid process.
But what I'm saying is this, what if another dealer or whatever has a better price? It just, you know, am I not explaining myself?
It's already through state bid, this is what.
So that's the best price we're gonna get for a truck of that nature,
Yes.
according to the state of
According to
Illinois?
the state of Illinois. The Morrow Brothers is the one who won the state bid.
Okay, I
out of
understand
all
that.
the other dealerships that entered it.
Okay.
What specifications did you give them for this? Did you use the ones that Brad gave
No,
everybody?
I did not.
And to clarify that, Brad was very helpful in getting all the information that I needed, but I never got a bid spec. What I got was a quote of a truck from Leach Wilson. And when I asked, okay, so the ad was in the paper for a bid. Contact animal control for further information on the bid. So I said, where is that bid? Like, what, if somebody would have called and bid, what would they get? And he gave me the quote that Leach Wilson gave and said this was the bid spec. Well, we can't put out a bid spec from a potential bidder. We have to have a generic list of bids. Like, so Leach Wilson was giving us a Chevy. Well, we don't necessarily have to have a Chevy. We can have a Ford or a whatever, Dodge, whatever. So the specifications that were put out back then for a bid really don't fit what I consider, maybe I'm wrong, a legal bidding process.
Do you realize that Brad's truck now is a heavy-duty hack? Do you realize that?
Yeah, they have the same towing capacity.
Is this a
and everything.
heavy-duty one? Is it?
Yes, they have the same specs.
And the four-wheel drive part of this?
Why would you need four-wheel drive?
Have you ever been an animal control warden?
No,
Have you ridden with him?
no.
Do you understand where he goes in that truck and the kind of weather we have around here in the wintertime and stuff? You don't think the four-wheel drive is necessary for him to get to where he needs to go?
No, because a lot of the other area, like Decatur had one and it was two-wheel drive, so, I mean, you're not gonna go out in a snowstorm to go get an animal.
I find it very funny that somebody that has done this job for 12, going on 13 years, that he is given, I'm sure he's provided information to you and talked to you, that you think that you know more about how he does his job than he does. But the other part of this is that whoever does this job, he has asked for an extended cab or a back seat, so the equipment that he needs to put his hands on to do his job, he wouldn't have to get out of the truck to get it. And this will not address that at all.
It sounds like it's more of a want thing than a need.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But you have not done his job.
Have you done his job too?
No, but I believe him when he says he needs something, and evidently you don't.
No, I don't. Because there's needs and wants.
So are you
And if
gonna go
other
to the
counties can do
highway
that, then
department? Are you gonna go to the highway department when they say they need this, this, and this, and tell them, that's a wish list, you don't really need that?
They just got rid of a two-wheel drive truck, so they have two-wheel drive trucks also.
Once again, I think that,
Mr. Chairman, maybe the gentlewoman has been provided with information that the rest of the committee hasn't been provided with. Perhaps she has specifications and a written list of what animal control needs that she's failed to share with the rest of the committee. If not, I see no further point in deliberating
Julie, have you
what may or
talked
may
to Brad
not be
before?
a necessity.
I didn't talk to Brad about what specifically he needs once in a truck. It was what was listed on the quote from Leach Wilson.
Okay, that's fine. Sonny, yes, I have talked to Brad. I talked to Brad today and got his bills, so we have his bills and stuff. I do communicate with the employees of this county. And it seems to me like if everybody that's on this board would communicate with the employees of this county, we would not have some of the problems that we have.
We're trying to buy the gentleman a new truck.
Yeah, but it's something that,
Well, if he doesn't want the new truck, we can leave him in the 2012 truck.
did you ask him if that's an option?
I've tried multiple times and got told to go to hell, so
Call the vote?
please.
All right. So to vote on,
Would you like me to read the motion?
yes, please.
Send the motion on the floor is to send to the full board the state bid from Morrow Brothers for animal control pickup truck replacement.
All right, since there's no further discussion,
Well,
all
I
in
do
favor
have-
say aye.
I have
Aye.
one other question. before
All
we vote.
opposed? Motion carries.
I didn't hear anybody vote.
Well, I heard some voices, but
I voted yes.
Yeah, I
I
voted
voted
yes.
yes.
I voted yes.
Were there any nays? I'm sorry.
Was there any nays? Same sign.
Yes, no.
All right, number 10, discussion and vote to full board to replace Dive Team's F-150 with the 2012 Chevy pickup from Animal Control.
I'll make that motion.
Does anybody second that motion? I'll second that motion. Is there any discussion?
Okay, so walk me through, like a kindergartner, if we're surplusing it for animal control, how does it become a different department's vehicle?
I'm not sure how that worked with the sheriff's department.
My understanding is it's just a walk of paperwork. Nothing will change with the title. We're declaring it as
It's
surplus.
still owned by the county, but
Right.
it's how it
Right. Who
is
is,
issued to who?
right.
But once it's where its new home is gonna be, it
Mhm.
will not be a surplus vehicle anymore?
Mhm.
Yeah, once, it will not be surplus once it is accepted by the board to
Go to whichever the
That's right.
department is gonna be.
That's correct.
Right. We may not need to surplus it, but I'm certain there will be a change in insurance coverage because it will go from a daily driven unit to as needed. I mean, the things are going to go from driving every day to not driving every day. So
Okay, no, I just
Yeah,
didn't
no,
know
it's a
why we
great
needed to
question.
surplus it if we were just gonna use it in a different department.
Well, I put it on as surplus to get the ball moving for the replacement.
right.
So
So
we
we
couldn't
have-
get a new one for
Typically,
animal
yes.
control until the old one was surplus?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And instead of surplusing it and selling it, moving
gonna
it
keep
to the dive team to replace an 04 with an 8-year newer truck.
Okay, gotcha.
Any other discussion?
Where will it be parked at when it goes to the dive team?
Well, currently where the dive shed is now.
Are those other vehicles at the dive shed?
Yes.
So when we get rid of them, then we'll have room to put another
When we get rid
vehicle?
of the F-150, it will go, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to sign it first, please, just to make sure I switch the right one.
The one,
I have the 150.
okay. Here's the 1500, is that what you need, the animal?
I need the 212.
Yeah,
Should be
that's
pickup?
this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the K1500.
Okay, thank you. I can't show one.
I mean, our papers are the same, so if they're wrong,
Yeah, both right, but thank you. Okay. You have someone made a motion, Cody did a second.
Yeah.
Are you ready to vote?
Yep. Would you read that back, please?
The motion on the floor is to recommend to the full board to replace the dive team's F-150 VIN number ending in 6941 with the 2012 Chevy pickup truck VIN number ending in 5377 from animal control.
Yes.
Sunny made a motion, Cody made a second, and
Motion carries. Discussion and vote on approval of animal control bills to send to Finance Committee.
here they are. Have you looked at them already?
Okay, so when, we've never done this before, what are we looking at? When, are we looking at bills, or do we let budget do that, or?
We are looking through, we did that at the beginning and then we just stopped.
Right,
So we are picking up where we started at the beginning and looking through bills. We will start from one end, just go to the other. and
do you want me
do
to read them so that we don't have to take the time to, or do people feel better individually looking at them and then initialing them, or how?
In finance, we have started splitting them, and you two look at something, and us two will look at something, and that way, everybody's not looking at everything. A couple of eyes. I don't know if Ms. Bain's gone through everything already once, that would be a third set of eyes.
I've already looked at it, but somebody needs to initial them. I did not
Right.
initial them.
They need to be initialed on the sheet there that you're looking at, that claim form, where your
Yeah, we
thumb
can
is.
just initial it?
Yeah, we just need to initial it at the bottom, so if you want to give us half and you take half.
Well, there's
There's
only
only
4
3
here.
Right.
Do you want me just to read
Save
them out?
us.
Okay.
What-
Okay,
Do you want one?
so this is the Ameren bill for $259. You good with that? And then
So what you're looking for is the claim of one, claim on the front sheet, that there's receipts on the back sheet. And that it's to the same,
The bill is for.
and on telephone bills, you still have to pay taxes.
See on budget bill number 7. I just looked at they were utility bills, I didn't think they made.
Yeah, okay, the current bill amount of
Previous balance.
$259.09 is due. Oh, see, I don't.
Is it late already?
It says
And it's on
well, it
initial at the
says
bottom.
the total due date is December 4th. The current bill amount of $259.09 is due December 4th, 2023. The prior bill amount of $172.18 is due November 6th of 23.
I didn't say I don't know, but I was saying the other bills were paid.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay.
Should go to finance and look at some of the bills,
I'm sure that the previous bill was paid.
especially when the sheriff starts sending in bills.
Anybody have any?
Don't throw your hands up like that.
I don't know, I don't want to write on this claim form in case it's right, I don't want to. So, do you guys know anything about Ameren bills?
Yeah.
Okay, so this says, total amount due, 4/31/27.
Mm-hmm.
259.09 is due for December, so is he a month ahead on his bills then? Do you know if that 172.18 was paid?
Apparently it wasn't.
Has it been paid maybe since this was issued? Because he's only asking for
It must
259.09.
have been, so many of the bills overlap. What's the next page say? Yeah. If he's requested this amount, that's an indication that that amount was
Is already
paid.
paid.
So that is not a correct amount.
So this is the correct
Right.
amount, 290.
Yeah.
So what's 259? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, 259 is the right amount.
Right.
That's the last payment.
Yeah.
Of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to pay 259.09.
Yeah. So just simply put your.
You were good with that, Teresa?
Laura, you good with that? The 259.09? Because what is happening is this bill was paid, the previous balance was paid in between this bill getting sent out. So the total bill, it looks like is 431.27, but the first half was paid, so now all that's due is this 259.09. It's just a overlap in the billing.
Are you reading over that?
Crossed in the mail.
Across the mail,
Oh, they don't.
It's- yeah. Yeah, no.
Wasn't there a thing where the treasurer was going to try to pay all this stuff online?
Treasurer's been working on a lot of that. The finance committee's been working with heads of departments to try to get everything on the same. There was one trash bill that every month it was late because they were sending the bill 2 days before the meeting. Well, we weren't getting it until the next meeting, so it was already late before we ever received it. So, yeah.
Do you want to look at it?
Well, if you're happy with it, sign it so she can look at it. What's the
Oh.
other one? Yeah, this is a trash bill.
I don't need to sign it, please.
Put your initials. I'm going to write your initials. G in trouble.
Paper
So what you're looking for, this is the claim that's being sent to finance.
Okay.
Then this is the actual bill. So there's the claim, there's the bill, they match.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
And
We
here,
won't see him, Sonny, in finance one.
not now.
Jessica was just get him paid.
Yeah.
I need my folder back too.
Yeah, there's one more. There's one more. This is Verizon bill, and then these are the two that we already looked at, so this.
Okay, this is Teresa's folder, so,
Yeah.
but we take the bills.
I told him I would give it to Jessica. He was concerned about it.
Oh, you're gonna
I
give
told
it?
him I would
I want to
take
say
it.
that's right to it.
Cody and I have already signed off on
Okay.
these. Sign off on that one, and then Have her sign off and be good.
Well, the other ones made sense. The Ameren was a little fishy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand.
I'm just doing my due diligence.
You are, I am,
Trust but verify.
I'm just sharing 10 months worth of experience and how crazy those can be.
That's good advice.
I've learned that in the last 2.5 years.
Okay, that's it then.
Do you want a copy of this?
They don't have to sign them. We've got this. This is our half. I want you to initial that, please, after you review it. That's the Ameren bill that's a little screwy.
Who has my email?
Huh?
Gave it back to you.
Oh, I got it. You better not lose that.
Be stealing my pen.
I would like to have seen the invoice, the clean.
I agree.
That would be.
That's weird. Maybe
Best of
when
luck
it's-
to you.
Maybe once Erica gets it so
Good luck.
that it's online, we can
Yeah.
have a more,
Okay, Teresa, these are for you. When you need your folder.
Okay, these have only got 2
Yeah.
initials on them, if everybody's initial on them.
So we're actually discussing and voting
This is
and
the garbage
approving,
bill.
so it's a roll call.
Okay.
They said that they've been splitting money. There's another one. Is there one in that one?
Please have Cody sign it over to go.
Did they initial?
Yeah.
Both? Okay, that's all it takes in the other meetings too, and there's 2
Okay.
people, so.
Okay, there's that for you.
As soon as Lori's done with that one.
Good.
Thank you.
Make a motion.
But,
She's going to Jessica.
Lori?
do you have a motion on the floor to approve?
I am making a motion to approve the bills for animal control.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Teresa,
What?
do you, the motion on the floor is to approve the bill?
Yes.
So we're doing a roll call vote. Julie?
Yes.
Lori, yes. Should I do one? Cody?
Yes.
And Sunny?
Yes.
Motion passed. Motion approved.
All right, so we will go to number 12. Discuss and vote to adopt committee rules and public safety committee job description. Is there a motion on the floor to open? I'll make a motion. Is there a second? Julie seconds it.
For the rules.
Huh?
For the rules.
Yes.
Yes. I will second now that I have found it.
Is this the 3-page document
Yes.
titled Public Safety Committee Meeting Rules?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, Mr. Chairman.
All right. You kind of spearheaded this. Would you like to take that?
Yes, I hope you were all able to read through that. It came from various sorts. I checked various counties that have been mentioned in the board meeting for numerous reasons. So I went on their websites and found their rules for committees and board meetings and compiled them. You can cut or amend as needed to apply to what is necessary here. I will note, I could not find before tonight, actually before Monday or Friday when this was all sent out, I could not find any rules regarding recording equipment, so I did not include anything that has like chairman will supervise or appoint any of that. So if you'd like to, if somebody wants to amend that, I'm totally okay with that. I just didn't find any wording for that to include it. So if somebody wants to make a motion to amend and add obligations to who would be responsible for setting up and running and then putting away equipment.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to amend.
Do you need me to write or do something, please? Okay, you tell me.
What would you like
need.
to amend it to?
So we'll amend to, the camera setup and running of will be up to the chairman. And if the chairman is gone, then it will be the vice chair that takes that.
So your amendment is the, in passive tense, I'm sorry, the camera setup and operation is determined by the chairman. In the chairman's absence, the vice chair decides.
Yes.
That'll be bullet point 20.
Does anybody got paper?
And-
My phone?
Yeah.
I need that kind of
Yeah.
down. Okay, yeah.
I'll second the amendment.
What do you need to do?
Just keep trying that.
Okay.
So the amendment. I wrote it on that paper. What's the amendment? On the, while you're all reading, on the last page, under 19, those are that's the job description, so that's not necessarily the rules, those are job description.
I have a question in reference to the rules, number 9. Subletter D. I'm curious if the word "of" is referring to something else or if it was a typo.
No, I think it's supposed to be the original copy of the sign-in sheet.
So there should be an additional word. The language says original of sign-in sheet. That's what this paper says.
If you want to change it, that's fine. If you want to change it for clarity, that's.
I'm trying to understand what the
I
spirit
copied it.
of the.
If you want to
Put it
nitpick,
to-
that's fine.
I'm not nitpicking it.
No, words
ma'am.
matter. Words matter.
Words matter. The lack thereof matter.
Can you offer a suggestion while I type this?
Julie, do you think it should say original copy?
I mean, I see what he's saying, original copy of sign-in sheet.
Are you making that amendment?
I will make that amendment.
I'll second that, Julie. Add the word copy.
Poor Lori.
Be-
Let me just
We
write that
probably
one
should
again.
vote on the first amendment for
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, my bad.
I have to type it because that's important. Okay. Camera setting off.
Let me see that where, so I can put it where I want it.
It's on the first page.
Oh, on number 9. No, it's, oh, shit.
Yeah. Shoot. The language.
Shoot.
Say it now because that's on page
Copy.
2, item 11, subsection D.
That's the second.
And then we need to go back and vote on your amendment. Yes,
Yes.
I agree. My apologies. Do it. Need to vote on the original motion, the chairman says, to amend,
Yeah, are you ready?
to add 20.
With the amendment.
Or,
So the amendment is adding number 20.
yeah,
Camera setup and operation to be determined by the chairman. In the chairman's absence, vice chairman will determine the setup and operation.
yes. That's been motioned and seconded, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we need to vote on that.
All in favor of the first amendment, I guess,
Yes.
that the chairman will be in charge of the camera and the vice chair will do it in his absence. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now, there was the second amendment.
Yeah, Julie made a motion.
I wrote it all down for her. I am not the secretary, but I'm a team player.
So under 9E.
No, not E,
Oh,
D.
Sorry. You need a motion?
And Sunny seconded, I wrote that right down for you.
Start talking. Okay. 9D. Original. Okay.
Or would you read back the second amendment?
Okay. Second amendment being under 9D, adding copy. So the statement would read, original copy of sign-in sheet.
All right, so to vote on the second amendment, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll go back to you.
Whenever she's ready.
All right, Sonny, what was your next question?
Page 2, item 16. If we're going to limit public body comment and not allow the chairman to allow an extension of time, then I would like to see 3 minutes be changed to 5 minutes per person. And since it takes me 15 minutes to get here, I'd like to see public body comment at least go to an hour instead of 30 minutes. Unless we're going to add language that the chairman
Has a discretion.
has the discretion to extend an individual's time and extend
I'm writing this down for you.
the overall. Whichever the preference is, I'll make the motion. It matters not to me. I've been in meetings where the time was limited to 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is not enough time. So,
Mr. Chairman.
So you want to move to 5 minutes per person for a total of an hour?
or grant the chairman the discretionary right to extend it as needed.
Mr. Chairman, in reading various counties and committees, boards and whatnot to put all this together, that's a very reasonable thing to ask, that the chairman have discretion to extend time, and that would be a simple fix. So that would be my suggestion.
Is there Are you making an amendment then?
I would make a motion that we amend 16 to include language at the end that gives the chairman discretion to extend a single person's time as well as the overall length of the public body comment as needed and necessary, as necessary.
And overall,
Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
Or let me know when you're ready.
I wrote some things down here if you need some help. Okay.
Number 16, to include chairman has discretion to extend speaker's comment time. To extend speaker's time. Second half.
The single person, as the single, or the speaker's time, or overall public body comment as necessary.
Are you talking about the 30 minutes?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Or as necessary.
You said necessary? Mhm.
I think necessary is,
Is that your word? Are you choosing that word?
well, I'm asking for your input. What do you,
I've got a word for you.
yeah, but I don't think it's proper.
Necessary. It might violate one of these rules up here.
Not, well, it will, but not yet if you haven't passed it.
I will second, yes.
I'm sorry.
What?
I guess she seconded me.
Yes, she did.
Sunny motion to amend. Julie gives second. Number 16 will include chairman has discretion to extend speaker's time or overall public body comment time as necessary.
Change your order to and, please.
Or
Yeah, speaker's time and overall time.
as necessary. That's
Yeah.
okay. Done.
Ready? All in favor of this amendment, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'm sorry, I didn't finish reading.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
do that.
So you abstain?
Mhm.
Okay. Goes with the yes.
Now, I only have one question remaining about this lovely prepared document. Page 3, the numbers are 3.22, 3.22, 3.23. Is that in reference to?
It was a document.
Oh,
Good one.
I understand.
You have that copy?
I won't make an amendment.
That's a,
Is that just what Word doc did?
You can
that's
just,
work, that, yeah, that's
you can
fine.
just delete those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't referencing
Instead-
something else.
It was from the, I believe it was a board and committee rules that I took it from.
Mhm.
But when I put it in this document, that's how it showed up. And I did not edit it. I apologize.
Well, I think this is a great thing. I'm glad you prepared it. Thank you.
A lot of work. It's appreciated, Lori. That's why you're potentially the secretary.
Oh, I'm glad it's done. I hope it helps.
Because they knew
I
they
hope
would
it
get
helps.
this from me.
So is everything at the bottom under 19 doesn't pertain to this, then, is that what you're saying?
No, those are the that's the job description of this committee. So there are other county boards that have committees like this. So it just gives us clarification on what our goals are, what our tasks are ahead of us.
When she transferred the information into this format, Teresa, it copied those numbers, 3.2, 3.22, 23. Those are not what,
Okay.
those are what she's going to delete.
Anything else that does not?
Sonny?
No, sir. I'm quite satisfied.
All right. Vote to adopt committee rules and the Public Safety Committee job description. Should we do a roll call vote?
can if you wish.
We'll do a roll call vote on this.
Are we going to discuss them at all? Vote them and then second it and then discuss it?
We have a motion, Cody motioned it and second, it was by Julie, and then we made 3 amendments.
Okay, can we discuss those before we
Go
vote?
ahead.
When I got this, I felt like I was back in kindergarten. I've been on this board through the previous board and now through this board, and I've never, ever seen anything like this given to a bunch of adults. I agree that there are times when things get out of order and stuff, but I don't feel like I'm in kindergarten, and I don't feel like I need rules like I'm back in grade school. That's my comment.
Lori?
Of the 20-plus counties that farm, I just went to those county websites and looked up their county board rules, and several of them had committee rules. So I thought if we're gonna, people want to look at those counties for the example that they set, I thought it would be appropriate to look at them and see what they use for their committees. So a lot of this was just taken from those others, and some of them are 11,000 people in the county, very small population. Some of the other counties are big, like Champaign. They have 220,000 people in that county. So this is very standard across the board, which kind of made it complicated to condense it down to something that would not be huge, like Champaign County's committees, dealing with the massive amounts of work that they have, but not making it very minimalistic in a very small committee where they don't have some of the issues that we face with having, I believe, is it 5 or 6 entities we deal with? So it's sheriff, public buildings, EMA, I think dive team, rescue, ambulance, and animal control. 5, 6, however many you want to make out of that. So
It'll also make it easier on future boards, committees, when they come in. This is kind of a guideline and expectation of what their goal is. I mean, as we've been here and working through it, we kind of understand, but now people after us will have a standard that they need to follow.
And every time the
We are
chairman,
just solidifying what we have been doing. There has been mention in other meetings, especially with the union, like yesterday, where there is no policy. There's not a lot of policies in Shelby County, and we are taking steps to put policies in place. So I think the vote will.
Wasn't there also an issue recently where this committee doesn't have a secretary, so there was an issue with some agenda items and whatnot, and we can't have a secretary if we don't have committee rules, so this shores that up.
Right.
yes, there has been confusion in the past with items getting on the agenda and who do they go to in the appropriate time frame. So it was suggested that each committee actually takes steps to, of course, the county board chairman appoints the chair of each committee, but then it was suggested that each committee make its own structure because we are a separate entity. We are our own public body as a public safety committee. So
Very well.
hopefully this helps. And I will note too that each time a committee chair transitions, so like should this structure last until the next election and new members are added and approved by the full board, that is a time to establish rules and structure. So this is not a forever and onward, this is just a starting point to establish some structure.
Right. Any other comments? All right, so we will do a roll call vote. Lori, go ahead.
Teresa?
I abstain.
Julie?
Yep.
Cody?
Yes.
And Sunny?
Yes.
And not many of us.
Motion carries. All right, number 13, discussion and vote to recommend rescinding ordinance 2014 01-0 to be better aligned with Animal Control Act 50 ILCS 5.
Okay. In looking, so this is a bit of a backtrack. In looking to establish written job description for an administrator, it was quite the task to figure out who is responsible for what, since the warden has been doing various things even outside of his union contract obligations. So to clarify that, I went back to the statute to see what is the obligation, the statutory obligation of the administrator. And it's pretty clearly spelled out over 20 pages or so of the, I believe it's 50 ILCS 5. Yeah. So that Animal Control Act in state statute requires that each county who establishes an animal control department or program create an ordinance. Shelby County has done this several times. So I went back to the most recent one, which is the 2014. We also have a 1984 and a 1977. The 77 and the 84 have a repealer clause that says everything before this goes away and we start here. So we do have an 84 that has a repealer that gets rid of the previous things, but it also establishes very closely to what the ILCS obligations are. My request in removing the 2014 ordinance, if you look at 1.4, in the definitions, it talks about an animal control officer. It does not distinguish between the administrator, deputy administrator, who would have to be a veterinarian, a licensed vet in the state of Illinois, and a warden. Okay. That, then you go over to 118, the second page, and that is titled as a definition licensed veterinarian. It should be a deputy administrator. And the reason for that distinction is because through the entire rest of the document, it talks about administrator, deputy administrator, and wardens, but it never defines who those people are. So you're going between, but all the documentation that I found since this document was adopted says animal control officer. So it really muddies the water. It clouds a lot of items when you go to say who's supposed to sign this document, or who's supposed to claim this, or who has the right to various things. So I would suggest that the 2004, it does have some good things in the back as far as like how to, inoculations, running at large, nuisance options, fines and costs, all those kinds of things, bites, care, and humane care for animals, and how to deal with issues. All of that is still in the 84 document and is in the statute. The Ordinance 14010 had fees attached to it, but if you remember, back in February of this year, we as a board adopted updated fees that were required by statute. So we're not undoing the fees that were attached to this ordinance. We're just removing this because it complicates things. It really confuses the wording and makes it more clear as far as who is supposed to be doing what, in what capacity, so that we are compliant with the law, with the statute. So that's my request, my suggestion.
Is that your motion?
Read the motion again.
Motion is to recommend to full board rescinding ordinance 2014-10, I'm sorry, 2014-01-0, so that we are better aligned with Animal Control Act 50 ILCS 5. Is that your motion?
It's not my motion.
Okay.
I thought that was your motion.
No, I'm just suggesting, I'm just
If you're suggesting,
clarifying what that is.
Explaining the
Explaining. I was
agenda
just-
item.
Presenting.
Are you making
Yes.
the motion?
I can.
2014 ordinance.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the year that it was passed is the first number from what I see on these.
Mhm.
So, are you suggesting that 84-1 is more in line with 50 ILCS 5?
As far as definitions of who is doing what and who's responsible for things like making sure that dog tags have serial numbers for rabies, tracking,
So 84-1 is better than 14.
as far as
But
definitions.
because of the repeal clause, 84-1 cannot be followed and 1401-1.
No, that's backwards. So because 84 has the repealer clause in it,
Right.
it means the 77,
It's
we
gone.
don't have to look at the 84 and the 77.
Oh, 14 doesn't have a repealer
It
clause.
does not have a repealer
So
clause.
we-
So we have to go to the 14 and 84, and they conflict
understand.
with a lot of job descriptions and
They don't use the
titles.
same titles.
They don't use the same names, so they have, it would be immensely difficult to try to make sure that every
So
step
we need to
is-
just get rid of this one so we can go back to this one.
I'm asking to rescind the 2014.
Okay.
So that we can go back to the 84, which has a repealer, so we don't have to worry about the 77. So we're
Sure.
going from 3, kind of, I read through all 3 of them multiple times to see what the discrepancies were. I
I
think
trust
this could
you.
be a safe
right.
option
I've
to just get to
I've-
84 and go from there.
I've read a great deal of it myself, and it's pretty overwhelming. So, yeah. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
That is the next item.
So where are we at right now? We have a motion and a second, and
We're discussing-
Okay.
Repealing 1401.
Rescinding. Is it a repeal or rescind? Is it the same?
Recommend rescinding, pardon me.
That's what that is, right?
Mhm.
Okay. That's the word that I'm
Where's
familiar
my?
with. I believe that's the one I want.
All right. Any more discussion? All right. Recommend rescinding ordinance 14010 to be better aligned with Animal Control Act 50 ILCS 5. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I didn't hear Teresa.
I didn't vote.
Well, I'm not watching.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
need to
didn't
make
vote.
sure
Okay.
because I have to put it in the minutes.
Okay.
so when we, now, this is what we're recommending to take to the full board for a final vote.
So this is a county ordinance.
Right. Both 14 and 84 ordinances were included in the information that was sent out.
Yeah, I have them here.
Did you see that, Teresa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
84 and 14?
Okay.
She didn't have you look at
Whatever you're ready.
73 and 74.
I spared you 74.
Okay, are we done? Ready to move on? then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 14.
Discussion vote to recommend board amendments to ordinance 84-1 to remove specific wording from sections 2 and 3.
Okay. Do you have a copy? Okay. So you have one of 84.
I have my thing right here, so.
Teresa, do you have this?
Yeah.
84? Okay. Do you want this copy that I've already marked as far as what's to strike out?
Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, Lori, would you like to take this?
Absolutely. I would love to. The 1984 ordinance does have a couple of phrases that maybe need to be cut out. In section 2, under officers, it suggests adding assistants. Under A, I would like to strike out, so if you're marking your page or if you see one that's marked, A would strike out and assistants. Section C would mark out assistants and associates. The third line would, under C would say subject to the prior approval of the county board. And then section D would strike as the county board may appoint, and then fourth line, appoint and.
Hold on.
They should all be marked. Do you need this one? I have one that's
No,
marked.
I don't.
That's one that's marked.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're striking.
Okay.
I'm
I understand now.
The motion is to strike those
Terms.
Because statute gives the authority to the county board chairman to appoint the administrator. And then statute says that the administrator will find the deputy administrator and the wardens. There's no mention in statute about assistants or associates. That's a very vague term that doesn't offer any clarity as far as what might need done. There's already a bit of structure offered as to who's doing what through ILCS statutes. So if you're reading through that.
Okay, so part D, in addition thereto, there shall be appointed an animal control warden and such deputy animal control wardens. So it is saying that they can appoint assistant wardens, technically.
Well, that the administrator, I believe, from my understanding, whoever's doing the appointing of wardens is going to be able to appoint wardens. The part that is necessary in D is to keep said animal control wardens' compensation is to be fixed from time to time by the county board. That lines up with statute. That would be determined by the board. Otherwise, that whole section D would be a bit unnecessary.
But the board doesn't appoint animal control wardens.
Right.
They
That's-
appoint administrators.
Well, if you're saying that as in past practice, our animal control wardens have both been, the minutes for the county board do show that they were chosen through county board.
But doesn't the
Action.
statute say that the
The
board
statute does
appoints
say.
the
Chairman, or the
the
administrator?
administrator, and then the administrator takes over from there?
Yes,
And that's what we wanted to say.
yes.
Okay, so that's why we're striking.
That's what I would suggest, so that we are in line, so there's no confusion over
Who does what?
It's been asked before. Well, then the county board could fire this person or, make that decision. That would be, by statute, the administrator would be the department head to make that determination against or for, toward who they would hire and who they would let go, and they would have a one-on-one relationship to make that determination, not necessarily the county board.
Right.
So I think.
So it is just aligning everything.
It's no different than any other department. I mean, the board doesn't go into
Right,
anybody else's office and fire people,
right,
terminate people. Yeah.
right. But if this were the ruling document, then the entire county board would need to approve any warden or deputy administrator or.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
It's a little hairy.
you need to amend
No,
section 2 or?
no. So the motion is to strike those phrases.
Okay, all right.
If we're done on that page, flip to the second page, under section 3, which is also in the agenda and the motion. Under section 3, second paragraph, the end of the first sentence, clothed with full police power. There are requirements by statute for training and a county ordinance that could allow for a warden to carry a lethal weapon or to allow them to carry tranquilizers, guns, that kind of thing, darts, whatever. So statute lays it out. This, I believe, when I first read it, and I don't want to speak for anybody, but when I first read it, it was expanding that more so than what the statute gives.
I mean, I don't know that we're training our wardens to have full police power.
Sure.
I'm not in charge of animal control.
No, that, you have,
I
not
don't
even
know
gonna
anything
answer.
about animal
Okay,
control.
all right.
I've not seen anything. I have seen firearms training through the state, options, animal control training options where they're holding, I mean, they're having them in Chicago in November. So there is training available for wardens. There's firearms training if the county passes an ordinance, which I believe we have, if I remember my documents correctly, that allow us to follow state statute and allow our wardens to have whatever. But this, whatever goes with the state statute, but full police power seem to be a little more broad than what I understood the state statute to be. So I would just ask that those 5 words be struck. One concern that was mentioned would be like there's the training of an animal control warden having training to go read someone their Miranda rights and arrest them because of a loose dog or something. I hope that would never be the case. But
Right.
I just don't see that necessarily being a pressing need. But I could be wrong, so those are my suggestions.
Anybody have any other comments?
I have some,
Sonny?
but I don't want to be ridiculed of being nitpicky.
Yeah, pick away.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings?
You
Did.
Please, no.
So D,
It's choppy and I don't like it. So if you can offer a fix to
Well,
clarify it, I'm
yeah.
good with that.
actually, I have to go back to C. In order to, if we just read it the way that it's redacted, in order to more effectively carry out and enforce the provisions of the Act, the administrator shall be supplied with deputy administrators as the administrator may appoint. Yes?
That is what statute says, yes.
Okay. That word "and" needs to be added to the redaction. And then I'm,
With certain, so it would read, the administrator shall be supplied with certain deputy.
oh, you're going to leave the word "certain
I
deputy
don't-
administrators." I see that. I see the bars. Yeah.
I tried to make sure they were all
Yeah.
lined up the same. They might not. Please let me know if I missed it.
No, I see your bar between certain and assistants, so that's reasonable.
Certain deputy administrators as the administrator may appoint.
Yeah,
Okay.
period.
Yes.
And then in addition thereto, there shall be appointed an animal control warden and such deputy animal control wardens, said animal control warden's compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board. So the county board will determine the compensation of the animal control wardens and the deputy animal control wardens?
It's the deputy administrator. Oh, that's the deputy animal control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's right, because they're covered under the contract, right?
Wardens.
The animal control warden is, right?
So isn't that all determined by the county board?
By the contract.
It was negotiated with the county board?
Yes.
So the board has to agree to the contract.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be, that's what
They're covered under the union. He's covered under the union. Whoever takes that position is covered under the union, and the union negotiates with the county board for those people and asks them.
I believe that would be included in what this says.
Yeah, I think that's the wording.
I think that you can't necessarily put the union in there because, I mean,
But still, the final approval of the union contract is through the county board,
right.
so.
So is the animal control warden appointed by the administrator? That's the way
By
you?
statute, yes.
Okay. So in addition thereto, there shall be appointed such deputy animal control wardens whose compensation
Could we,
to be fixed from time to time by the county board?
it's very choppy and grammatically it's terrible.
Do we need to replace the sentence?
I would replace it.
I'm
I would
okay with
cut it,
that.
'cause I-
Do you
it's
have a
Very
suggestion?
complicated.
In
I mean, it's-
addition thereto, the administrator shall appoint an animal control warden and deputy animal control wardens, and compensation will be fixed, approved by the animal control, or, county board.
Well, does she have a suggestion that she's typed out by chance?
I do not want to impose too much on what's being offered. I'm very open to suggestions.
Take notes, Sunny.
Yeah.
Really? See my new pen? Would you like to?
Second is not helpful.
Can I help you in some way?
Yeah, you can rewrite this sentence.
Do you have a sentence you want to offer?
There are so many words. Can we just make it with less words?
Well,
Yeah.
write a sentence out and we'll jump on it. Would you like to make a motion to amend?
Amend, do you? I think we could, animal control warden's compensation to be fixed.
Yeah, that works.
Animal control warden's compensation to be set
In addition.
from time to time by county board. That would, well, and deputy. Well, all of them would be.
Well, the deputy animal control
Okay.
warden
In
is just,
addition,
I'm sorry.
sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
I didn't either. I wasn't properly recognized by the chair.
I'm already
Julie, go
violating
ahead.
the rules.
Of course you pick her.
Control wardens?
Okay, now I've lost my train of thought. Thank you, Sunny. In addition,
I would throw out the addition, in addition
Okay,
to.
there
shall
shall be
I
appointed
would not keep.
an animal control warden and deputy animal control wardens. You don't like that? You don't
Like
want
any of
that?
that. I don't like any of that because it doesn't, it doesn't make sense.
Okay,
with
there's,
compensation.
what are we stuck on? How to get it worded so that the county board has a final approval of their compensation? Is that what the goal
The
of this?
compensation is the part that needs to stay, in my opinion, for,
Mhm.
because.
But we already know that the animal control wardens are gonna be appointed. So does that need to be in there?
Well, it's not been appointed, it's,
They're gonna be hired. They're gonna be,
exactly, but not by the county board.
Right.
That's what it's-
yeah, we don't
So
want
I'm
that.
just offering,
What I don't
So
like
can
about
we just
it,
say the animal control compensation will be fixed from time to time by the county board?
employees, can we just say employees?
Yes.
Teresa, would that work with all aspects?
animal
of
control employees,
Employees?
I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, there's so much here, we're gonna be here till midnight.
Well, there's just a lot of words that I don't think need to be, it sounds like a lawyer wrote this, and we're not lawyers.
I'm comfortable with it saying animal control employees' compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board. I think that's reasonable.
That's the goal of the right?
That's
That's the goal
the
of
point
this-
of that clause.
That bullet point.
Right, what I don't like about it is it says animal control warden and deputy animal control wardens, like there's gonna be 6 or 7 or 8 different people that have to be appointed when really that's not. I like animal control, good job, Julie, I like animal control employees.
Well,
I
that's
said
Lori's
that.
word. I'm not gonna steal credit from people.
Is that your motion to amend?
Yes.
Mine is just to strike, was it unnecessary words or something? Oh goodness, where is it?
Well, can I make a motion to amend subsection D to say animal control employees' compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board?
It just says number 14, that we are amending ordinance 84 to remove specific wording from sections.
So we don't need amendments to it, we just need to
We just bring
hack it
out.
up and then go with it.
Yeah.
I support that.
We have to change the word to say employee. Or can we just leave
I think
it?
animal control compensation, because that's the people working.
Okay.
So you're not gonna put employees?
I mean, if you want to amend that in the full board.
You said we didn't have to. I'm not gonna amend it in the full board if we don't, if the 6 of us or 5 of us don't think it needs to say employees, it don't need to say employees.
I'm okay to see who else wants to say employee or not.
Oh, let's not waste the time. Let's
I'm not
take care of
holding
this in
this
committee right now.
Yep.
I'm not holding this tight-handed.
I like the word employees. If you don't like the word employees, I like it much better than having multiple animal control wardens and multiple deputy animal control wardens.
So did you make a motion to amend?
Well, she said I don't have to make a motion to amend because the agenda item doesn't say that I have to. It says that the agenda item says that we are amending this actively.
Oh, yeah, so just change it to employees.
To remove specific.
Yeah. So letter D will say animal control employees' compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board.
Answer. The agenda item would be discussion and vote to recommend.
So I have to,
Board amendments to ordinance 84-1 to remove specific wording.
Oh, so this is not a work in progress. This
So
is,
it
we're
is
just.
to remove it.
Can we remove the word animal control warden and replace? Or that's amending?
can I make an amendment?
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Yes, because it says amendments. Make an amendment.
Amendments.
Okay, I make a motion to amend D to simply state animal control employees' compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board.
I'll second that.
Do you need me to write something down?
No, I'm just gonna- Section, or what section was that? Tell me where to find that.
Section 2D.
Oh, it's not here.
Okay.
I don't want to like.
So motion to amend. Can I have a second?
Mhm.
Amendment. To add employees to section 2. The rest can just be struck as is, as the original motion.
Call vote.
Or you want to read it so everybody knows exactly what it says?
Okay, I'll do that. I'm only going to read what we are keeping in section 2 and 3 under officers. A, the positions of administrator, deputy administrators, and animal control wardens as provided for in said act shall be and the same are hereby created. B, there shall be appointed an administrator as above set forth at an annual salary to be set from time to time by the county board. C, in order to more effectively carry out and enforce the provisions of the act, the administrator shall be supplied with certain deputy administrators as the administrator may appoint, period. D, in animal control employees, animal control compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board, with the amendment of D saying animal control employees compensation to be fixed from time to time by the county board. That's the amendment. Do you want to vote on the amendment?
Yes. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
We only have to do this once, right?
Right?
So I'm absolutely,
There's one.
oh, sorry. I'm good with everything else, that's all I was gonna say.
Okay, so that was the amendment, and the full motion will update section 2 and then have in section 3. The administrator, deputy administrators, and animal control wardens are for the purpose of enforcing the act and this ordinance. I'd like to remove, my motion is to remove clerk of full police power. The sheriff and his deputies and municipal police officers shall cooperate with the administrator in carrying out the provisions of the act and this ordinance. And that is almost verbatim for the statute.
So that will be not amended, but it will be the complete thing, correctly? Correct? Or do we need to make an amendment?
Well, you're just wanting to strike, right?
Yeah, she's just wanting to
Okay.
strike language from 3, that's what the agenda item is, to strike
All right.
language.
It makes it a fragment, but I
So-
didn't give him anything more.
Is there any other discussion? So the vote will be on striking all language that was noted in the discussion from Ordinance 8401, and we will do roll call.
We'll start with Sunny. Sunny.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
Julie.
Yes. I'll go by that.
Teresa.
No.
And I'm yes. Motion passes.
Motion passes. Number 15, discussion and vote to recommend to board administrator, non-vet job description with added Illinois Administrative Code.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
On motion.
Is there a second?
I will second.
This is the exact same thing that we had last month. And it went to the full board. Well, it could have gone to the board. It was approved by the committee last month, except for I came across the administrative code, which does require a few extra things of the administrator. When an administrator brings in a deputy administrator vet or a warden, they are required by animal, it's a JCAR rule, to give them a list of reasons that could cause termination, which we will talk about later. And a couple other issues that I believe I included in the read-ahead material, if you could all get the links, and I think they're on the printed page. I tried to get it to everybody. Do you all have that there?
Shelby County.
Termination causes?
No, it's the new, administrator non-vet job description.
Yes, we have that.
Okay. So the last part was added, cleaned up a little bit.
Last part of this document?
Yeah, so it's the again, when transferring it from a bullet point
Sure.
over to my documents, if you catch anything, let me know.
The one that is the non-vet job description doesn't have anything in the title. It just says admin job description. That's for the non-vet.
Chamber?
Screw's falling out of my chair.
Got a screw loose? Oh, is that inappropriate? You might as well just excuse me from the committee now, because you can't expect me to sit in a room for 2 hours and not try to be funny. Did you find it, Susan? Which one is it? The one that says animal control admin job description, that is for the non-vet.
That's what I've got here. It says non-vet beside.
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about right now.
So is there anything you want to go over specifically about this?
I don't think so. If y'all read through it and it looks good. And I will say, a lot of this, it will help. I know Brad's been asking for help for some time to deal with some of the growing responsibilities out there. This will help alleviate that so that he is well within his union contract and things are clearly defined, so hopefully that helps.
She did ask that yesterday when we had that meeting, that and that's kind of where we weren't real sure. I told her that all of this stuff was a draft, because we were coming up with, it's not final. And then I was like, so how do we, if we pass it, and I said typically we have the state's attorney review any policies or whatever to make sure that it's not in violation of a union thing.
Right.
It's not tight.
However, this is going to go to legislative, correct?
Right, so,
No, I'm sorry.
no, one of them goes to
Yes,
legislative.
yes, I am
That's
wrong.
the warden.
Right.
That's,
Okay,
And that's the one that we'd be talking about, because that's the union position.
right.
So we want to make sure that whatever we're putting in that is not contradictory to what the union, but she doesn't even have a job description for
Right.
that position right now. So we're not real sure how that's
So-
going to jive.
so to
Mine-
delineate on that, I went with what was specifically noted in statute. So sometimes it says administrator, and if the administrator is not a vet, then the deputy administrator and wardens or whoever. I tried. Feel free to nitpick, review, analyze, in case I missed something. I tried to compile it so that it would not conflict with the state statutes, because
Well, yeah, you
of
didn't
course
have,
the
you don't
union
have
wants
anything.
to uphold that, so.
Yeah, she called that in, I think, a bargaining.
Yeah, so whatever has to do directly with the warden, we will have to send to the acting representative.
And
But
that's,
As a draft, and she knows
Right.
that's a working
Right.
document,
if
it's a
we,
draft.
so if we pass whatever today, then we will send it to her. And then hopefully before the board and everything else, we can have some sort of,
yeah, so the motion on the floor is just the administrator, non-vet,
right,
to
okay.
try to keep, just to keep, and you'll, well, to this point, the second, number 13 on the agenda, is if the administrator is a vet, then they are allowed to do other things. So statute does say if the administrator is not a licensed vet, then this needs to be done.
Okay.
And I believe, I'm not going to hold that, but I believe there are, yes, okay, so I did include as many statutes as I could verify with. If anybody wants to read it again and add to the state statute, the administrative code, and the Humane Animal Care Act, with my blessings, please do. I tried.
So is there any other discussion?
This is the part-time position that we were talking about.
And a lot of that stuff is already established, so it's not like you're going in to create something. And it's not like everything on this 2 or 3 pages would have to be done daily. This is stuff that, ordering DART medication is only every few months.
Right, but this is just, this would
Paying
be the
bills.
part-time,
Paying bills,
10-hour job.
right. They might spend 30 minutes or 2 hours a week, depending on initially or once things get in the flow of, okay, we have 3 bills, okay, this month we have 6. So it might be a little more or less, so.
It's very wordy, but I don't think it's very time consuming. act, yeah, I mean, it's gonna take longer to read it than it probably is to
To do
do
it.
it.
Right.
It's the part-time position, 10 hours a week that we talked about, and the compensation is how much?
$25 an hour. And that's another item on the agenda. Well, the administrator is not, because we already approved that through committee last month, I believe.
Really?
Any more discussion?
Nope.
All right, since there's no discussion, we'll go to vote. All in favor of the non-vet animal control administrator job description?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign?
Did you vote?
Aye.
Okay. Teresa, I
I
didn't hear.
didn't vote.
Did you abstain?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries.
All right, number 16, discussion and vote to recommend to board administrator vet job description.
That is the exact same thing, I believe, with the added medical responsibilities of, so if an animal has bitten someone and is taken into custody, a vet has to do that, has to oversee.
There's an
different-
assessment too that has to be done by the vet, sorry.
There's, no, go ahead. There's bites, injuries, inhumane care, they take some in from a residence or facility that they are clearly malnourished, any kind of medical treatment, care, oversight,
Euthanasia.
procedures, neutering, spaying, inoculation, I mean, just any kind of medical care, treatment is added to that, I believe.
Was there a motion on the floor to discuss this?
I make a motion to recommend to the board the administrator vet, licensed vet job description.
I'll second it.
Are we at discussion?
Yes.
Is this the one that Julie, you were going to try to contact Dr. Briggs?
Well, I was gonna contact Dr. Briggs, I did actually talk to Dr. Briggs about either or position, and he is officially retired.
So not licensed.
No, I mean, he is licensed, I'm sure, but he just is retired and doesn't want any obligations. So,
So this would also, if this was as a licensed vet administrator, would also be at the, and compensation would have to be approved in the next steps and by the board. I'm expecting $25 an hour-ish, $10 or 10 hours a week. It might be more, but that's what we have in the budget, or that's what's been proposed to the budget. So this would be more of the administrator role who can actually take care of the animals, do the treatments and medical care. So it could be a little more intensive if there were a retired, someone who wanted, 10 or 15 hours a week.
well, and also, since a lot of this was written, they've created a position, vet tech, and some of these things, not any kind of surgeries or anything like that, but there are things there that vet techs could do. So, I mean, for the non-vet part, we might be able
Non-vet,
to
yes.
incorporate some of those duties into that.
Yeah, if there's a vet tech that wanted a part-time something, administrator would be good, non-vet. Administrator vet doesn't have to be a licensed.
It has to be a
It does
licensed
have
vet,
to be.
yeah.
And deputy administrator does have to be licensed vet.
Sure, right.
So they're 4 different things. So I'm sorry to bring them all at the same time, but while I was working on them, it just worked out to put them all together.
Any further discussion? All right. Vote to recommend to board administrator vet job description. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Abstain.
I would like to volunteer my time to help you, so that we can present this to the full board in a way that's
more concise.
We'll just streamline it a little.
I think we can put it all together.
Number 17, discussion and vote to recommend to board deputy administrator job. It says deputy administrator vet job description.
So if the administrator is not a licensed vet, then they have to bring in a deputy administrator who must be a licensed vet.
Mhm.
And that would only be the medical care.
That's why I messed up.
The only way we need, the only reason we would need a deputy administrator is if our administrator is not a vet.
Right.
Okay.
So that's not a required position, it's a as-needed
So
position.
is there a motion on the floor?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Okay, discussion.
And you say Dr. Briggs is not even interested in this?
No, I talked to him and he's retired and he said he just wants to be able to pick up and go and doesn't want any obligations and I mean, somebody else is willing, if they're willing to. But I'll try the vet, I have to take Larry to the vet this next week, so I will check around out there.
Any further discussion? All right. Vote to recommend to board deputy administrator vet job description.
Aye.
Are we just going?
Are we
No.
voting?
No? Do
Thank
you want to
you.
amend it?
Wait, what?
All right. To recommend to the board, oh shoot. I just said it like 18 times.
Do you want
Deputy.
me to read the motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Julie made a motion to recommend to the board deputy administrator vet job description. It's attached. And Sunny seconded.
Okay. So send that to the full board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed?
Abstain.
Are you having a stroke?
I think so.
Okay.
Are you getting hot?
Yes, I am.
Do you taste metal?
Ooh.
Yes.
You might be.
Battery dying?
Come on, Nancy, if you want to.
This is your prime time.
Let's see. Discussion, all right, number 18, discussion and vote to recommend to legislative committee warden job description regarding Ask Me contract. Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
So we are sending this job description to legislative to make sure that it conforms to the union contract.
I'm going to also send a draft copy with the understanding that this is a work in progress to Natalie of the, who's the AFSCME union rep, just so that she has a general idea of what direction we're going with this.
Are you gonna attach number 20 to it?
What's 20?
Discussion
Sorry.
and vote to recommend to board reasons of termination document
Yeah.
required through Illinois
If it-
Administrative Code.
I mean, if that needs to go.
Yeah, if that has, it has the AFSCME union in there and everything, so. we
And
will-
she is aware of that also.
Yeah. She had a copy of the agenda and actually brought those questions to us, so we'll get her that stuff.
All right, any further discussion on 18? All right, all in favor of sending to legislative committee warden job description regarding Ask Me contracts, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Yes.
Same?
Yes.
Motion carries. Number 19, discussion and vote to recommend to board administrator, whether vet or non-vet, and deputy administrator hours and pay. Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
I failed to find that in the packet. Did I overlook it? Is that
It was from
previous?
last month. It
Can you
didn't
re-
go before the board.
Can you refresh my memory?
Well, so there's two different things. The administrator was the $25 an hour for 10 hours, up to 10 hours a week as administrator.
Okay.
And then the deputy administrator has not been discussed.
Well, that would involve the administrator hiring that individual. So
Right, and I would like to not, I mean, I don't know how there's us deciding the administrator who would have to hire, find them the budget, and it's not in the budget, except that right now we are paying $200 a month for a veterinarian to order medications every 6 or 8 months. So I did not have a suggestion for that motion.
We can always come back to that.
Yeah. But we already have the hours of pay for the administrator, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's
Through
in
this
the
committee.
budget.
Right.
Through this committee.
Right.
I don't know that the full board approved that because I think we held off.
It wasn't taken to the full board. I think it was pulled.
Whose responsibility will it be to hire the administrator?
It's the chairman.
Board chairman.
Oh, Bobby Norman's.
That's in the statute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
So are we tabling the
Yeah.
deputy administrator's pay out of this? Because I've only heard an administrator pay, and
Right.
I've heard we could come back to it, so. Would we like to table the deputy administrator's portion of the agenda item? I'd make that motion to table the deputy administrator's hour and pay.
I'd second that.
I'll second. Or, I guess it's already second.
You can vote. You get to vote.
All in favor of tabling the deputy administrator's hours of pay, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. All right. So now we're going back to administrator pay, vet or non-vet.
And that's 25 an hour up to 10 hours.
Correct.
Is there any further discussion on that?
Who seconded that? Who seconded that table? I did, I seconded it, yeah.
All in favor of recommending the board administrator, whether vet or non-vet, pay in hours, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye, same sign. If no, or
Yes.
if opposed, same sign.
Teresa, I'm sorry,
I didn't vote for it. I abstained.
But you have to put something on record. I have to put something in the minutes.
I abstained.
Okay, thank you.
All right, number 20, discussion and vote to recommend to board reasons for termination document required by Illinois Administrative Code. Is there a motion on the table? Is there a motion on the table? I'll make a motion.
You going to make a motion?
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So where are we sending this to?
This will go to Ask Me.
Well, I mean-
And then it will go to, well, it doesn't say where it's going.
It says
Well, it says-
recommending.
Oh, right on the board, yes.
Yeah, it's to the full board to discuss at some point.
And even still, I mean, this is just communication. It's not, action has to be taken right this minute.
Right.
It's just communication.
So I'd like to make an amendment to the motion that the reasons for termination document be affixed with job description to be sent to Ask Me, and not the full board at this time.
I'll second that.
Wait,
Does that, I'm not sure that that's
You don't think
Am I
that's a legal motion?
Well, no, I think, am I correct in thinking that we can go ahead and say, yes, we want to send it to the full board, but it doesn't have to be discussed, I mean, because we would have to turn it in
The board can't take action on it until ASME's read it.
Right, but at least they have the information to
Oh.
review.
What's the transfer between us saying, yes, go ahead?
Well, can we send it to ASME without voting on it?
Voting on it here, or,
No, we would have to vote on it to get the ball moving.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't see the point in us voting to send this to the full board if it has to go to ASME.
Well,
And it
technically,
has to go to
technically
ASME.
it doesn't have to go to ASME. It is just.
this is a courtesy.
It's a courtesy to avoid a grievance
Yeah.
in step process.
And just an attempt at communication,
Right.
like it's,
Cody, I disagree with you that it does need to go to ASME and stuff because it becomes a condition of employment. That's part of the contract.
That's not what the union rep said. She said that we can adopt it, but it will result in a
grievance.
grievance.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
No, that's what
That's what we're
we're
saying.
trying to avoid. I mean, because I specifically said, what happens if we do this without, do you guys file a grievance? And she said, yeah. And that's when we came up with this discussion of, we'll go ahead and give him the draft so that she has a
Right.
copy of it, and it hopes to avoid any kind of thing like
So if
that.
we don't send it to ASME, then they can go ahead and grieve. But if we do send them a draft,
They may still,
then they
if
can.
we pass it and they don't agree, they may still grieve it.
Who's
It's
we?
just
Who's we?
The board, not us as a committee, the board.
Well, that's why I'm saying I would prefer that ASME review it before the board passes it
Okay.
and causes
And
the
maybe if
grievance.
if we haven't heard back, we can pull it from the agenda.
Well, it doesn't say that we have to do it next month, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
we can hold off until we get it back.
That's what, that's a great
no,
question.
yes.
Yeah,
So
that's my
we're
question.
just gonna recommend that we're gonna send this to the board, and then
Once we've
you
got-
are the people that are working with the union are gonna see to it that they have a copy of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it comes back, then we'll bring it up for discussion again.
Oh, so if they don't chop it up, then we can just move forward to the board. If they
Right.
chop it up, then we're gonna bring it back here.
Yeah,
That's my
we can do
understanding.
that. I mean,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
And
kind of what we did with the
that's
other
favorable.
policies.
Yeah.
Why don't you just table the whole thing for right now and not give full board everything that you've got that you want to do until you come up with an agenda item that says that you're going to give it to, who is it?
It's in there. Well, what does it say?
No,
This
the one
was-
that you're going to send to the legislative group. Why don't you
Because-
put an agenda item to send this to the legislative group before you give it to the full board?
Because there are 3 positions that we're looking for, and only 2, I mean, our next step from this committee, we want to help build the structure of the administrator position, which does not get a termination list. They actually have to give it to a warden if they were to hire somebody. There's already a warden there, so this can take time and go through the process of ASME, and even we can send it to legislative without being voted on, right? Like that we just share this with them?
yeah,
Or do we need to vote that it goes to legislative?
we can make another amendment to send it to.
I mean, do we have to vote on things before we share it with another committee?
I would, yes.
You can amend this agenda item to send it to the legislative group.
If you want to make an amendment, I don't see why we can't.
I think that that needs to be done before the full board gets it. And I'm not talking about the other 2 job titles, I'm talking about animal control board.
Yeah, the warden.
I don't want any more turmoil, any more grievances and backlogs and stuff like that that you're dealing with right now and stuff, and I think it might help with that.
So Sonny, what was the first motion? I'm sorry.
I wanted to amend discussion and vote to recommend to say ASME instead of the board.
And I second that.
And
yes.
you seconded that.
Right.
If I need to withdraw that, I can withdraw that.
But like we said, we're not saying send it to the full board for this agenda. We're saying at some point when it's been, we'll send it to the full board. Doesn't say for the November meeting.
I agree with sending it to Aspen. And then if they hack it up, then we can go back through and look and then,
So I would rescind my motion to amend
I was saying send it to legislative.
this agenda item.
I'm sorry, I
Send it
didn't,
to ask me and keep the legislative out of it. I don't care. But-
okay.
I'll withdraw my motion to amend the agenda item, and I would make a motion to table this for further expansion of other committees or unions.
So even though it's tabled, we can still send it to ask me?
Sure.
yeah.
I think you need to put the
Draft thing on
draft across it like the dive application was. As a draft, it's non-foiable and it's a working document.
Well,
If it
yeah,
is not
mostly
a
so they
draft,
understand that it's not a final copy.
well, right, and it needs to be noted that way, otherwise it looks like a final copy.
Well, I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff, but maybe somebody can help me.
It's in Word watermark.
So you're good with that too, tabling it, and then we'll send it to ask me?
Actually, that should have been done to this, with this packet. It should have been sent draft across it and stuff instead of sending it out as it was sent out. I think.
I believe that was that not an email? So these are drafts. So proposed.
Okay, back to topic.
Sunny made a motion to amend.
I made a motion to table 20.
Oh, to the table. I thought you were proposed to ask me.
I don't think we can modify this agenda item enough, so I think the best thing to do is to table it and work
Work with ASME.
with ASME.
Did you have a motion to amend to include ASME?
No, I have a motion to table 20,
Can you say that again?
Table.
item 20.
Is there a second on that? Did you?
I'll say that, yeah.
Okay. Ready to table it?
All right. The vote is to table number 20 and work with ASME, correct?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
No, it's just a table.
It's just to table this item, and the item is recommend to board reasons for termination document which is required by the Illinois Administrative Code.
Okay. Tabling, number 20. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
I'm an aye.
Okay, thank
And then we're going to send that to ASME, yes?
If we are all in agreement that I can
Please,
send out a tabled
please
item.
put the watermark draft on it and
you. I
make
will do
sure.
that.
Huh?
I will do
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do that?
this. I mean, it's in my thing, I can just click I think I can just add that.
So I don't have to learn something new?
All right, number 21, discussion and vote seeking to renew intergovernmental agreements with municipalities that have expired or soon to expire due to evergreen clause. Shelbyville, Cowden, Moweaqua, Tower Hill, Findlay, Siegel, Oconee, Windsor. I will make a motion to bring it to the floor.
So these
I'll
are,
second.
these are animal control intergovernmental agreements, correct?
Yes.
Is that all of them for the county?
That's all the ones that the clerk sent me when I asked for all the intergovernmental agreements with municipalities for the animal control.
Because I thought he went to Herrick to.
I don't have.
Stewart's under Strasburg.
I do not have them for Sioux Falls.
Nobody asked Brad where he goes,
No, I asked the clerk for the intergovernmental
but
agreements.
you didn't ask Brad.
I asked for the intergovernmental agreements that says that we have relationships with other municipalities. I mean, would he go to a village or a municipality without an
Maybe he maybe
intergovernmental
goes to
agreement?
some of those places.
He does go to those places?
I think maybe he does.
Oh, wow.
Does Finley have, oh yeah, here's Finley.
There's one for Finley.
I think it might be worth a phone call.
Finley, Sybil, Well, I think we'll just try to get copies of what we have as far as agreement.
Here's the village of Cowden.
That is not Harris, that's not Harris.
I understand. Are you
wanna know how
nitpicking
to-
me?
You wanna know how to make somebody mad?
Yeah, I know. Here's the village of Mowequa. Just reading them all, Julie. Is that okay?
I think the tone, Sonny.
I'm laying it off pretty thick.
Oh.
Tower Hill.
So, do I have those?
So it looked to me like all of these, are we in discussion?
We are.
It looked to me like all of these were pretty well cookie cutter except for Shelbyville. And Shelbyville was confusing at best.
Well, here it says 2010 animal control contracting.
That's, this is on the last,
Yeah.
last or second to last page, there's a signature page for each one that says, that this
Yeah.
has a check, this or that. So municipalities had the option to choose whether they would pay $100 per animal picked up or and billed at the end of the calendar year, or $2 per capita based on the municipality's population in the amount of, and that's the chart that you see. That or those charts.
So these aren't necessarily people that we have active contracts with.
That's a different question. Pertaining to the per capita payment option, only Okanee is the only municipality that I saw with the per capita marked.
All right.
$2 per capita. So it's like $360
And
a year.
Shelbyville and Okanee are the only ones that I could verify have made payments to the county with regards to these intergovernmental agreements, which other municipalities or cities should have been, because I know they've gone and picked stuff up there.
We have a
So,
law.
I have requested various documents. I have not received any documentation. It may exist. I don't know where it is or who has it. By law, the municipality is supposed to keep records as well as the county program. So, looking to see, like, we could ask every municipality, have you paid a bill? Because it would be the $100
and then $25 pickup fee if they can't transport it, and a $20 boarding fee.
which is on the, that's spelled out on the third page.
So what are we actually wanting to do right now? Do we need to, how are we gonna renew this? Who's gonna take care of that?
I would like, I would really like to have an administrator look through each one of these, see what the law says, see what the relationship is with each municipality, and go from there. I don't have the time of capacity of hours and contact and going through each of the contacts to sort all this out.
Okay.
I would like, at this point, knowing that Shelbyville's contract is different from the other Okanee pays a different way. They do have this clause in there that says, that's Shelbyville.
So are none of these municipalities paying?
Well, I can't find a record of it. The treasurer can't find a record of it. Can't find a record of them being billed, so I don't know.
So, there are not contacts, I mean, some of these documents have contact names and phone numbers, whether it's a person or a deputy or law enforcement, it just depends. Some of them have contacts, others do
Well,
not.
some of them aren't even there because
So-
Windsor's contact
Right.
person isn't even there anymore.
Exactly. So
It's
these are
too cheap to
out
go.
of date.
Mhm.
Right. So there is a, in the Shelbyville, the City of Shelbyville Intergovernmental Agreement, Section 4, says that the parties agree that the initial term of this agreement shall be 5 years and it will continue annually thereafter. That right there binds future boards. So I'm not sure how anybody wants to proceed with.
That creates,
Find a future board, can you?
And these are, I mean, many of these are actually, if it were just limited to 5 years, many of these are already expired. If it is ongoing because of that wording, are we still legally bound?
Yeah. the
Can we
five,
table this until we get an administrator?
I would love to do that.
Are you making a motion to table it?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second, I would second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Are you gonna vote on that?
Yeah.
You vote yes, okay, thank you.
All right, number 22, reading of minutes with actions taken to get approval from committee members.
that way this committee is done and she reads the minutes and we approve them in this session. But you have
Yes.
skipped a couple.
Well, yeah, there's skipped a couple.
Where do we go? Where do we skip?
3,
Three.
I did skip three?
yes.
Oh, no, yep, I skipped that, because,
We hadn't adopted.
yes. Number 3, well, I put chairman appointments. So I don't think that's correct.
It's not.
So we need to,
Chair, it says vice chair elected by committee, secretary elected by committee.
right.
What are you reading?
Look, reading number 3 in
On the
conjunction.
agenda?
Yeah. We skipped number 3.
Yes.
We were coming back to number 3.
Yes.
I was reading the rules that we adopted
So we
in
don't have to do
conjunction with the agenda says
So-
chairman appointments.
Okay, so from my understanding, the rules cannot be applied until the next meeting?
Right.
Is that accurate?
I concur. That is the way that,
that. Oh, that's how it works, yeah.
so at this juncture, you should appoint a vice chairman and then you should appoint a secretary. And then at the next meeting, when these board rules are in effect, we should elect a
Okay.
chairman.
Elect a chairman?
A vice chairman,
Okay.
thank you, words matter, and a secretary.
My question is, do I have to, can I just say it, or do I have to open it up?
Just skip it.
If you're appointing, you appoint it,
Yeah.
right?
There's no rules, you can do whatever you want.
Let's not go that far. All right, so for number 3, for the next 30 days or so, until the next meeting, I will appoint Sonny Ross as the vice chair of the Public Safety Committee, and Lori Nelson will be the secretary of the Public Safety Committee upon the election or whatever next month.
Until next.
Yeah, next month, then we will discuss and vote.
December.
And that's the only one we skipped, right?
Mm-hmm. Did you get a second on your appointments?
Do you have
I don't know.
No,
I
I
feel like
just-
he
no, I
has the
just-
power to appoint.
Okay. If you're satisfied, I'm happy.
Your opinion doesn't matter right now.
Fact.
All right, so my next question too would be, do we need to do new business and old business before
Well, we
reading
have-
of the minutes?
Oh, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, that's, we already did public comment. Okay, anybody have any old business that they want to discuss? Lori?
I believe the last time we tabled, in the October meeting, we tabled the agenda item for the intergovernmental agreement with Shelby Bill for dive team. I just want to say I've never seen it. I didn't get it before that meeting, it was on the agenda. I don't know how it got there, and I didn't know where to find that. And I've not seen that.
I've not
I don't have
seen
it.
it, so.
I don't have it.
I've not seen it.
So I didn't have anything to vote on.
No, agreed. I mean, I don't even know how it got on, like I said, the agenda, so
I didn't put it on the agenda.
I didn't.
All right. So is that it for old business? So, moving on to new business.
Oh, wait, I put that up.
There is some issues. And one of these issues, the state's attorney said he cannot do for the statute of limitations, and that was the purchase of the 2019 Chevrolet from Leach Wilson. It was bought for $29,208, except that it was actually purchased for
34.
Yeah, I don't have that paper, I lost that somewhere. How much was it, Sonny?
34,208.
34,208. So the difference was, there was a payment of $5,000 for Fund 001-7423-12-033, which dropped it below the $30,000 threshold, and they paid $29,208 out of 050-5443-12-048.
Did we get this information?
Yep, I sent it.
They were pictures.
Oh, is that the pictures? Okay, no, I have it. You're right.
What did you start off with? That the state's attorney said he would what?
He will not be doing anything with the bid, the failure of bidding it out because of statute of limitations.
Okay.
The one that had the 5 attachments? And then there's 3 of the pictures. The pictures that, what he was talking about is in the pictures. I'm sorry, Cody, I wasn't even thinking about those.
What do you mean he won't? Is this a criminal act?
Well, it went against the bid process. It was not bid out correctly, so it was a failure on whomever was involved with that.
So is the wording that he will not uphold that bid process? Or he will not?
It's already happened.
It's already happened. They've already taken possession of the truck.
I
Due
think
to statute of
he's not gonna
limitations,
ask us
nothing can happen.
to do it.
But this is just acknowledging that there has been issues with bidding in the past.
He's not going to take action in proper bidding procedure.
So this shows record of receipt. We have been challenged in the past as to whether or not we own anything. This is a record of receipt that the county purchased this truck.
Yes.
Which vehicle is this?
This is 2019 Chevy pickup truck from the dive team.
You haven't seen anything on it. It's one of the pickup trucks at the dive shed.
I sent this out.
Okay,
We took no action on it on this agenda.
I see what you're saying.
It's just a vehicle that's out there.
And what, he said he wouldn't take any action because it's been so long. What happened that
The statute of limitations.
for somebody put money down on it? Is that what you're saying?
They put money down to get it below the $30,000 bid threshold.
So if somebody would donate money to the dive team and pay something down to get it under the $30,000 bid threshold, that's illegal.
Yes, because it didn't come out of like donations to what would be like, let's say Leach Wilson accepted the donations. They came out of county funds. So coming out of county funds, it has to go up for bid.
Okay, but if somebody would make a donation to Leach Wilson for $10,000, if somebody was trying to buy a vehicle and brought that cost of that vehicle down below $30,000, is that legal?
I have no idea on that one.
I think the concern is bid rigging. Failure to properly request for bid.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah. The donation is not illegal.
But the donations went into a county fund.
The
That is
donation
the
went
issue.
into a county fund, that made it county dollars. That meant that the truck needed to be properly bid. It was not properly bid.
Correct.
But I was asked about what I just asked you about, if somebody would, donate money to something to bring it down below the threshold that it had to be bid, would that be illegal?
It's bid rigging.
I think that affects the cost of the original cost of the vehicle, therefore, it's not changing the price of the vehicle. It's just
changing the price to the
what we
county.
pay.
Yes, bringing it down below the threshold.
Okay.
I believe with the, just to make note as well, I see a trade-in amount of a previous vehicle, the 1998 GMC Yukon.
Yes.
And it was traded in for $500, and to my understanding of trade-in is not allowed, because it would have to be declared surplus, and then, because didn't we run into that earlier in this committee?
Now, that truck was never deemed surplus. It was never put out for bid.
So they just took
I have
$500.
never seen, I will say I've never seen that, anything of the, what was it, a Blazer Tahoe,
It
something?
was a GMC Yukon.
Oh, Yukon, I haven't requested anything, I have no idea about that.
It just says total trade-in allowance. And I mean, that vehicle was never, down there at the bottom, 1998 GMC Yukon. That was never declared surplus. It was never put out for bid, which is what the problem we were running into with the animal control truck trying to be traded in, which is one of the reasons we rescinded that.
Correct. Now, the other,
And you can see on this buyer's order, one of the things that was corrected on the titles, clearly with this claimant form, the county paid for it, but it is not in the county's name. So that's one of the things that was addressed at the DMV.
So whose vehicle, is this now in the county's name?
yes.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
The other issue, and I was told to say everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but the state's attorney said he will be looking into this, and it is checks from insurance companies towards the dive team, rescue from vehicle, injury on site, medical expenses.
Thank you, good sir.
I think I sent this out, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the copy.
He did say he will be looking into this as well. So he will also be finding out who sent the invoices and billed the insurance companies.
So what, can you explain what this, okay, so this, on this one that I'm looking at from this one, the provider is a Shelby County Dive Team. The patient is Sean Conaway. Should I be saying those names?
Well,
I
it's a
don't know.
public record.
Yeah.
Okay. Injury, okay, so rescue from a vehicle, and the total charge is $1,000. What are they charging for?
No idea. I asked for the invoices and I have not received any, so no one has the invoice.
Is that the dive or the rescue
It
squad?
says
This is
19.
dive.
It says the provider is a Shelby County Dive Team.
I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know that name either, so I don't know.
Well, these people obviously were the ones who probably received the services from the dive team, right? Or
Yeah.
rescue from the vehicle?
That's what everything is said.
Well, there's an ambulance, unlisted ambulance service for $400, so it's dive team ambulance and
But the
patient.
The dive team is charged, well, I shouldn't say the dive team is, but they were charged under the provider of the Shelby County Dive Team,
Right.
$1,000, but it doesn't say what for other than the rescuing.
Yes, that's, the only thing is with this, the state's attorney will have to subpoena that information because we do not.
Because we can't charge for rescuing, can we?
Nope.
And then,
And that's the copy of the check. There's two copies of the same check.
Yes.
Well, there's two copies from the same place, but they have different check numbers. There's another one from Safeco. There's two of them.
So there should be,
Well, it almost looks like
yeah, there's two of them.
the county, or the dive team, sorry, for the rescue charged $1,000. Maybe their insurance considered that an ambulance service and paid out $400, which brought the total payment to $600.
No idea. Like I said, we cannot get an invoice. We do not have any invoices.
But I don't understand what the invoice was sent out for in the first place. So where did the $600 go?
So all these were put in their donation fund.
So it was paid out by county insurance, or these private people's insurance
Yeah, sent.
for a service that was provided by the county, but then it didn't go into county funds.
No, it went,
Well, the address is not
technically
accounted for that.
it did, but it went into so they have the regular fund and they have a donation fund. It went to the donation fund.
And does the county have access to that donation fund?
Yes, for
Okay.
that one, yes. There's one out in town also.
For like their fundraisers and stuff that they do?
What-
Okay.
So do you know the address for it? Because this is a PO box, which
For
is not,
what?
for which fund? I mean, it says the provider and the Shelby County Dive Team, PO Box 326.
Isn't that the courthouse
Is
supposed
that
to
the
have?
courthouse?
I don't know. P.O. boxes.
There was a,
It's 300 something.
yeah, it was,
I think there's more than one.
I think so too.
Well, so if we can verify these, the 2004 Ford F-150 that was deemed surplus, Shelby County PO Box 326. It's the same address.
Yeah.
Was that one that needed corrected?
No, it didn't. So I hate to go on record and say that 326 is the clerk's. Well, it wouldn't be the clerk's office, it'd be the treasurer's office. Money would go to the treasurer's office. Hmm.
I don't know if I sent it or not. But there was a sheet that I got for the revenue that had all this.
Shelby County Dive Team tow bill
That's what I'm wondering about.
on behalf of Shanks, Pete, and Danley Mary. $1,050.
Shelby County IT COVID.
Is this was back in 2019, is that something where maybe a truck got lost at the ramp?
Can we charge for towing?
According to the Attorney General's opinion, we cannot charge for dive team operations.
Whether it's towing or life-saving,
Correct.
And then here's one for $1,000 that has no explanation period. Enbridge.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
was all.
So is there anything that they can charge for? Like, not trainings, nothing?
No. They can accept donations, that's
Sure.
it. I can look through my paperwork and I'll see if I can find where it went to the accounts. I know I have it somewhere.
No, that's fine. I'm just was asking those questions for me to understand
Right.
how those things work.
I messed up, I had that, and I apologize for not being able to show that exact paper.
So if we charge an insurance company for something that we can't charge for, are we culpable for insurance fraud?
That would be up to the state's attorney. Julie, or not Julie, sorry. Roy, would you like to read the minutes? Or Julie, would you like to read the minutes?
I got a sheriff's department update.
Oh, I am sorry, Sheriff, I completely skipped you.
Is this old or new business?
This is a committee update, kind of, right?
It's an update. I assume it'd be new because it's
Okay.
new since last
Okay,
meeting.
okay, so I'll just,
Sheriff McReynolds, you have the floor, sir.
I've had one of my deputies resign, one of the 11 resigned approximately a little over 2 weeks ago, and then I've got a second preliminary, notification that one is in the hiring process elsewhere. So I just wanted to update you where we're at, so.
Were you short one anyway then?
Yes,
Has there been any update on the bargaining? I think we gave last month, correct, or no?
there's not been any movement, other than the grievance process is still in place. The arbitration process is moving forward, but that's slow. There's been no other communication or offers made to try to resolve it.
Your desire is to be at 12,
Yes.
and you're at 10,
10.
possibly 9.
Correct.
Is there any other future meetings that are set up between
No,
you
but
and Floyd?
I've talked to the FOP rep, and he's willing to, at this point, he said, just email us our offers to him and we'll communicate by email, so.
And that's between you and the state's attorney, correct? Okay.
We've also, the body camera grant for those Axon cameras has opened, and we're in the process of trying to apply for that. We've had some problems with the Axon invoice, getting it to match up with what's required for the grant. And then the other concern is the county audit is not done yet, and we're late. And if we don't have an audit entered, that might eliminate us for some grant money also.
Like the sheriff department its audit being done, or the
The
county in
the
general?
whole county in general has not had their audit completed and turned in. We're late.
is that something that the sheriff's department financials can be shown for the grant?
Well, it has to be done by an audit, and the audit's not done yet, so.
Yeah, all I've heard is there's a couple departments that they're waiting on, so that's all. Any other new business?
What word did you say that is?
Is that all you had?
That is all I have, unless you have any questions, so.
The Axon camera grant.
Are you
Is
using
it
the
in
Axon
process?
cameras yet?
No,
Are we paying for them?
But they're
they have been paid for, you're correct.
to match up.
Like the whole thing? Or,
No, it's broke up. Lori helped with this, but it's kind of broke up in a 5-year deal, but the equipment itself was paid for up front.
You got that in your, whatever
Yes.
budget that was section.
and is that gonna be, you said that you might have to have somebody else on the payroll to just do that?
Well,
Haven't got that far?
It is time extensive for sure, as we're learning, but we'll do what we can.
Would you like me to read the minutes?
Is there any more new business? Or would you like to read the minutes?
I would love to. Public Safety Committee minutes for November 6th, 2023. November 1st. Oh. Sorry.
Let's amend those before you make it up.
Let's amend those.
You're gonna be picky.
Courtroom A. Shelby County Courthouse. I'm so sorry. Okay. Call to order at 6 o'clock. Members present: Julie Edwards, Sunny Ross, Teresa Bain, Cody Brands, and Lori Nelson. Chairman appointments. That was at the top of my paper. you like me to move those to the end? Okay. Chairman appointments, Sunny Ross, Vice Chairman Lori Nelson, Secretary until December 2023 PSC meeting. Public comment moved to the front. Number 1, committee member liaison to work with sheriff on courthouse window project. Ross motioned to nominate Teresa Bain as liaison, seconded by Cody. Teresa declined, Sunny withdrew the motion. 2, send to the full board the Shelby County Dive volunteer application. Sunny made a motion, seconded by Julie. 4 yeses, Teresa voted no. Number 3, send to full board marking the dive team Ford 150 as surplus, and I've included the VIN number. Cody motion, Julie second, yes. Votes were Cody, Lori, Sunny, Julie, no Teresa. Number 4, recommend to full board marking rescue squad 1981 international fire truck as surplus with the VIN number. Become used for training purposes. Sunny motion, second by Cody. Motion to table. I'm sorry. Sunny motioned. Cody motioned, and apparently Cody seconded. This may not work. This may not work. I'm doing this at the end. I don't know. This may not work, people. I'm sorry.
You're doing fine.
You're doing great.
Good job.
I just hit delete.
Can
Of
you
all of it?
undo?
Part of it.
Can you undo it?
Okay. Cody motioned to table, second by Julie. Table, yes vote was Cody, Sunny, Julie, Teresa, and Lori. Number 5, recommend full board to declare surplus of animal control 2012 Chevy with VIN number, pickup truck. Sunny motion, Sunny second. Yes votes for Sunny, Cody, Julie, Lori, no was Teresa. Number 6 is sent to the full board the state bid from Morrow Brothers for animal control pickup truck replacement. I did not have the detail. I did not have the VIN number for that. I don't have any.
There was no.
You don't have, I don't have a specification for whatever that was. If you would like me to add that, that's what I was looking for. Julie motion, Lori seconded. Yes votes were Sunny, Julie, Lori, Cody, no Teresa. Number 7 was recommended to the full board to replace dive team's F-150 with VIN number with 2012 Chevy pickup truck with that VIN number from Animal Control. Sunny motion, Cody second, yes by Lori. Yes votes were Lori, Cody, Sunny, Julie, no by Teresa. Number 8 was an approved animal control bills and sent to Finance Committee. Do I have to list those specifically as to what they are, or is
Nope.
it just those that were initials? Okay. Sunny motion to approve, Julie second, yes. Teresa yes, Julie yes. Those are roll call votes. Sorry. Lori yes, Cody yes, Sunny yes. Approve the bills. Number 9, adopt committee rules and public safety committee job description proposal, which was attached. Cody motion, Julie second. Cody motion to amend it. Sunny seconded that amendment. The amendment number 20 will be added: camera setup and operation to be determined by the chairman in the chairman's absence. Vice chairman will determine setup and operation. Yes votes were Cody, Lori, Sunny, Teresa, and Julie. There were no votes. Motion passed, or that amendment passed. Julie motioned to amend another section. Sunny seconded. That amendment was section 9B, was to add the word copy. Yes votes were Julie, Teresa, Lori, Cody, Sunny. There were no votes. Motion passed. Sunny motion to amend with number 16 to include chairman has discretion to extend speaker's time and overall public body comment time as necessary. Yes votes were Lori, Cody, Julie, Sunny. Teresa abstained. The motion was passed. Vote to adopt amended. The vote to adopt the amended section was by Teresa. Actually, I'm sorry. The votes to adopt that amended portion. Teresa abstained. Julie was a yes. Cody was a yes. Sunny was a yes. Lori was a yes. Motion passed. Number 10, recommend rescinding ordinance 2014-010 to be better aligned with the Animal Control Act 50 ILCS 5, which was attached. Lori made motion, Cody seconded. Yes votes were Lori, Cody, Julie, Sunny, and Teresa abstained. Number 11, recommend 2 board amendments to Ordinance 84-1 to remove specific wording from sections 2 and 3, which is attached. Julie motion, Lori seconded. Now I'm getting mixed up. As amended, Sunny yes, Cody yes, Julie yes, Teresa no, Lori yes. Sunny motioned for the amendment. Cody seconded the amendment. The amendment was to add employees to section 2D. Approved. That amendment was Cody, Julie, Lori, Sunny, Teresa abstained. 12 was recommend to board administrator, non-vet job description with the added administrative code. Lori made motion, Julie seconded. Yes votes were Julie, Sunny, Cody, Lori, Teresa abstained. Number 13, recommend to board administrator, vet job description. Lori motion, Sunny seconded. Yes votes were Lori, Cody, Sunny, Julie, Teresa abstained. 14, recommend to board deputy administrator, vet job description, which is attached. Lori or Julie motion, Sunny second. Yes votes were Lori, Cody, Sunny, Julie, Teresa abstained. 15, recommend to legislative committee the warden job description regarding the AFSCME contract, which is attached. Julie motioned, Cody made second. Yes votes were Lori, Julie, Cody, Sunny, Teresa abstained. 16, recommend to the board administrator, whether vet or non-vet, and deputy administrator, hours and pay, deputy administrator per service. Oh, okay, did not include that. Sorry. Julie made that motion, Cody seconded. Sunny motion to table the deputy administrator pay and hours. Lori seconded. Admin pay for the hours were yes, Cody, Julie, Sunny, and Lori. Teresa abstained. We don't have the table approved. Do you have a second and a motion?
The table for which one?
The table that deputy administrator.
Well, I motioned to table it. I thought you seconded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that,
I thought we did.
but I don't have the votes.
Okay. Vote to table the deputy administrator, right?
Yeah,
That's what that was. Yeah. I don't know that,
I think there were 4 yay votes and then Teresa abstained.
to verify, did you abstain from that one? Okay, thank you. Sorry. Thank you, I'm sorry about that. So the deputy administrator pay and hours were tabled, but the administrative pay passed. 17, we are almost done, guys. Recommend to the board reasons for termination document as required by Illinois Administrative Code, which is attached. Cody motion, Lori seconded. Sunny motion to table the item, Cody seconded. The yes votes to table were Cody, Lori, Teresa, Julie, Sunny. Number 18, seeking to renew intergovernmental agreements with municipalities that have expired or are soon to expire due to evergreen clause with Shelbyville, Calvin, Winklow, Tower Hill, Finley, Civil, Oakney, Windsor attached in 3 parts, all attached under, oh, I'm sorry, that's a, Cody motioned on that, made that motion, Lori seconded. Teresa made a motion to table it, I seconded that one. The table motion was approved by Julie, Teresa, Cody, Sunny, and passed. Oh, and Lori. I did vote on that. New business. Leach Wilson, the contract with Leach Wilson, state's attorney acknowledges the improper bid process, but since it is out of statute, it is out of the statute of limitations, no legal action will be taken on the 2019 Chevy Silverado dive truck from Leach Wilson for a total of $34,208, which was over the allowed amount of $30,000. State's attorney is also looking into checks from insurance companies as reimbursements to Shelby County dive team. Sheriff McReynolds brought an update of 1 deputy resigned, 1 hiring process elsewhere. Grievance is still in place, arbitration is in process, body camera grant is in progress, but the audit is needed for grant approval. Is that properly stated? Okay, thank you. Old business, Lori has not seen the IGA with Shelbyville. IGA for the dive team, nor has Julie, Sunny, Cody, or Teresa seen the IGA. Is that right, Cody? Is that what, did you say that?
I did not say I haven't seen it.
You did not, okay.
I did not say that.
You had said that. Okay. Cody, did you say you have not seen any IGA? I have not seen it. Thank you. Public body comment was at the beginning. Reading and approval of minutes. There you go.
The numbering sequence got off at some point. Is that important or not important?
I mean, I just listed them as we went through them. It's not in order as with the agenda. It's
Perfect.
just the items.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second that.
Thank you. God bless you.
I don't think we need to read through them again.
Okay. Killing me.
Let me know when you're done.
Want it to be right or halfway right?
This is the best I got.
You're doing
This is
great.
what we get.
Secretary's
This
gonna
is what
quit
we get.
before she even officially gets
Oh, you're
appointed.
This is what we get.
Let me know when you're done.
Ready
Ready?
to vote?
All in favor of the meeting minutes, or approval of the meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same sign.
I abstain.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
will you allow for a second public body comment? Some people showed up in the middle of the meeting that might have anticipated public body comment being at the end.
Yes, sir.
We're already done, aren't we?
No, we've not made a motion to adjourn.
Is there anybody new, public body comment? Yes, sir.
When you guys eventually get to the part with the dive team applications, who will be reviewing those applications? Will it be the Public Safety Committee?
For right now, yes, until we get a commander established.
Okay.
And then the commander, they should have their,
All right, that's the only question I have.
okay,
You
Thank you.
sat through all this for that one question.
dedication,
Good for you.
like it. Public body comment? Public body comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to adjourn? No, and, I'm sorry, did you call?
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Good evening. Or Julie. Maury? You want this?
Who seconded the adjournment?
I did.
Sunny did.
Oh, you're fine.
No, Walter this time. Walter, no, okay?
I don't know how the outlook is going to be on how many people get to show up to it.
I think you
It's out there, but I don't know.
If it gets canceled, will you let me know?
Guys, that was
I don't, it won't
a
be
very
canceled for
well
sure,
ran
but
meeting considering
never
this
show up.
is.
It's not.
I was gonna listen, I forgot what I was gonna say, but you know what, we're all good.
Considering there were 75 agenda items, good job.
Hey, that was, I like this.
I just don't want to say it.
Now, let me save this before I lose my other.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hang
You want it on the internet?
I'm just standing over here talking to my future son-in-law.
Who's that?